here for the battle royale. No.
Yeah, but I don't remember how that works. I can't
Yeah.
remember shit
Oh yeah,
anymore. I
we
got
we do this one.
CRS
This
syndrome. I can't remember shit.
the CRS intro.
Oh, dude, Chris Robinson was just on Joe Rogan. For anyone who's interested in that type of thing,
I just
awesome,
finished it yesterday. It
so
was
good.
very
It's
good.
so nice to hear just a non-political conversation for 2 hours for the first time for me, and longer than I could remember. I think so. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
he's a very cool dude, man. He's definitely one of those guys where celebrity definitely hasn't taken its toll, and he's not an arrogant asshole. He seems like a really down to earth dude. Grab a beer with him, and
Oh yeah, no, he's great. Grab a beer, eat some mushrooms, maybe. He'll offer you
yeah,
mushrooms. He will.
yeah.
He's
All right,
yeah,
gents. Well, we're live.
we're live.
Welcome back to the People's Guild. Another episode of the Battle Royale. We got a new face, so welcome to the fray, there, DJ. Appreciate you hopping on, man.
Thank you. Glad to be here. And I do want to clarify because I know everybody kind of screws up my name. It's Dejota. Just
The
Dejota.
whole
Hopefully,
Tehota.
I said D Joda when you came on.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
D
well, maybe I got an advantage of growing up in El Paso. I immediately thought Tejota. That's
Yeah, that's what Jabba would say. Jabba would go D Joda.
yeah. We also got Stever and triumphant return of the co-host here, Fed Jimmy. What's up, dudes?
Raging.
Not a lot. Working a ton, trying to keep up with things, slowly buying cards and assets because I'm hoping that this isn't coming to a abrupt end soon.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
hey, man. I'm still picking up land cards. They're looking good right now. I saw someone picked up a gold foil. Yeah, it was some rebellion or Rift Watchers gold foil maxed Earth card. I forget which one it was with Enrage, melee with Enrage for like $5 the other day. And yeah, now's the time. If you think it's not going
Yeah.
away, now's the time to be doing it, man. I did this once before during the J69 thing, and it worked out all right. So hopefully, once again, it'll work out all right. Yeah.
Fingers
Fingers
crossed.
crossed. I'll
All
do
of
it
them.
too.
All of them.
So, Stever, what are you buying up, man? I feel like you've got a pretty solid collection. What are you stacking?
I've been taking a look at like people who are dumping beta stuff and untamed stuff. If I can get a maxed one for land, I'm buying them. I had a whole bunch of bad lands that I never activated because they were nerfed compared to the other stuff, and I wasn't activating all my plots, and now they got was back up to a good bonus, so I wanted to start turning those on. So it gave me a reason to go and shop for some cards, and I've turned on like 3 or 4 more plots, maybe 4 or 5, and I'm planning on continuing that.
Nice. Yeah, the beta
Because
cards are good, man. Whew, there's some good deals on beta cards right now. I just maxed something up. I went from a level 9 to a level 10 on, I believe, my Enchanted Defender. Finally did it. That one extra armor or something ridiculous. But yeah, the beta cards have some sweet deals right now.
That's the old what is it? The Ever Hungry Skull equivalent,
Yeah, basically
like
one health, huge armor.
equalizer guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I got a skeletal warrior, so it was just like a rare beta card, 6,000 something power, and somebody was selling it for like, I don't know, a couple dollars. I
Oh,
was just like, why not?
yeah. Yeah,
I
but yeah, I
keep
bought
eyeing I've told Jimmy I keep eyeballing there's a max kitty going for like 390 something. And that's like for anybody who's been around for enough time, that's the holy grail of summoners. She's never
Mhm.
not going to be the best in the game. I don't think we'll ever see a card that broken again. And under $400 is just crazy. We'll see if I can muster up the conviction in this game's future to take the plunge on that baby.
you
I just
almost
started actually grabbing some of the dual summoners in Rebellion, the 3 mana cost ones. When they've been touching like 10 cents a BCX. A couple of them, I don't remember which ones. When they've been getting that low, I just grab a few here and there. But I eventually want to get all of those because I don't know if the legendaries are ever going to come down to like a price point where I feel comfortable with because I really don't have like almost any rebellion cards at this point.
Well, in a couple months they'll be cheap once
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. But I feel
yeah.
like those 3 cost summoners are being overlooked a little bit.
Oh, those are great, man. It used to be
Yeah,
those mana beta summoners, those were amazing. But the
yeah,
3 mana for like silent summoners, 3 mana, 2 splinter, that's
yeah,
freaking huge.
yeah.
That's huge. That's better than the 2 mana beta guys, almost.
Even in the I don't even play it restrictively to silent summoners. I feel like if it's under 20 something mana, you can roll out a really stacked team for it's like Kretch, right? 3
Yeah.
mana for access to it's even better than Kretch in my opinion because you get to pick and choose which splinters you bring to the mix. And now with all the synergies and dual element cards, you can bring in Zuriel to pretty much any battle. You can bring in that promo card to pretty much any battle. Yeah, it's a good play.
Yeah. Anybody buying Chaos?
No,
I'll
have
take
enough.
I'll take chaos. I'll take a few chaos epics if they're extremely cheap and maxed out, just to put onto land. But nothing smaller than that because I wouldn't want to stake anything smaller than that on my land, really.
I wish I
I did just buy a blight for my alt account.
nice. That's what
Yeah,
I mean.
that's
It's
nice.
good. And the summoners, man, like Lily is going to be freaking huge. There's some good legendary summoners in that set, man. I kind of
Oh
wish.
well,
But
yeah, you're right. I did go on a shopping spree for my alt accounts because they were competing in Diamond and Champion now. So I'm like, you know what? They should have max Chaos Legion summoners. They should have like the key chaos cards being max. So I was buying like slip spawns, um, deep lurkers, like all that stuff that's super cheap right now, and just giving them maxed copies to make the decks more competitive. So
yeah, and if we ever hit an onboarding new players point, those
Yeah.
cards would rent very well, actually.
Oh, 100%.
And it doesn't take much, man. I think like at its maximum, there were 5,000 maxed Chaos Legion decks. Like if you combine everything from the initial sale before they started burning packs, 5,000 max sets. That's really not much if this game does do the takeoff thing.
Man, that feels like such a small number, but it's such an uphill battle, man.
Mhm.
Yeah. Did you guys catch Matt's comment on Chaos during the town hall where he said he thought they were undervalued?
No.
Yeah, I hope I'm not making that up. I'm pretty sure he said that.
I mean, it makes sense.
I
You
didn't
look at the
catch that
prices.
either.
It's crazy affordable to hop into Splinterlands
Yeah.
right now through Chaos.
I actually feel like when we start this huge marketing push, that new players are going to come in, they're going to get like acquainted with our ecosystem, maybe like dabble in some rebellion because it's going to be in front of them. But then once they get their feet wet, they're going to see how affordable Chaos is, and those are the cards that they're going to start buying. As long as long as Chaos is still in modern, you know.
Yeah.
Even still, man. I mean, so I'm looking at Splinter cards right now, and you guys care to wager what a max Chaos Legion set total is at the moment?
Are you including Rift Watchers?
No,
I think
just
it was
Chaos
just
Legion.
1,200
Just
bucks.
Chaos.
Twelve
I
hundred
was gonna
bucks.
say I was gonna say
I'm gonna-
1,400.
Yeah,
Steve,
yeah. I'll go like 1,000. I'll go under those.
$591.
Yeah, I was thinking even lower actually, because
Whoa.
but
Nobody won by
they
price
threw me
right.
off going so high.
$591. That is just insane. I spent that on pretty much a level 3 blight back in the day.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about my chaos purchases. They just The only thing is, it's like, oh, you spent like $30,000 on the pre-sale. Yeah, but it was all money Splinterlands gave me. So
Yeah, that's true. A lot of that was true for me as well. I was flipping
Yeah.
packs on wax at the time to getting them on the pre-sale, flipping them on wax, and people were buying them just to bolster the pre-sale.
yeah, I am glad I didn't. I was selling some of them early on because I wasn't sure on Chaos, and I didn't hold them all, so I only have a few hundred left at this point.
So what do you guys think it looks like the TPG voucher proposal is going to pass. I feel like I've been seeing personally a little bit more pushback from folks in the community about this stuff. Dwayne just dropped a video saying he pretty much completely agrees with Crypto Eater, and I've had a couple of people reach out to me directly saying, it's not the right move, yada yada. Do you guys care to kind of wager? Are we going to see the voucher shop in its full glory at any point in the next, I don't know, 2 to 3 quarters?
Yeah, I don't know. Nate's always talked about it. It could be freaking amazing. It could be value. You got exclusive items that are nothing DEC.
Yeah, I would say no if you say 2 quarters. If you say 3, starting, like, I'd say by third quarter of next year, maybe. I think early on, all you're going to see is what they put in that post to put in there, and that's the rewards cards. So the nice part is if you have vouchers, there's going to be a couple of rewards cards that might be buyable that you'll be able to max out immediately if you're someone with a high level deck and if you use the vouchers. So that'll be kind of cool, and that card's supposed to rotate, it sounds like. So like they'll sell, like a common card, then a rare, then a legendary, then a common. Like, I don't know, they'll bounce around, but I don't think we'll get any of those like cosmetic things for quite a while.
No, Matt's made it. It's going to be pretty basic on there. Although they have multiple skins for Chaos Legion cards. It's like just put them out there. But that's the thing. They dropped that info about the they're working on cosmetics now. So I bet you that's all they're trying to sell cosmetics to get money. So they don't want to do the voucher shop. That's my guess. He dropped it in one of the chats a week or so ago. He said like they just got out of a meeting talking about cosmetics.
I don't know. Why not both? I mean,
yeah, no, I mean, some things exclusive for vouchers. You can have an awesome voucher thing. Like, what did I just do? Oh, the gold foil, the airdrops, the way you can, boost your airdrop for vouchers. That is a great exclusive, boost the gold foil chances on the airdrops for vouchers. That is a great use case for vouchers that doesn't compete with DEC. Like that, just more of that. Just keep doing that,
Well, I even think, even if there's, say there's a new skin that comes out for Oceanus that's available for DEC for the entire community, you can toss like a foil background on that same skin and make it available for vouchers only. So, maybe there's 250 of this, like platinum foil background Oceanus skin available through the voucher shop, and then there's 5,000 available through DEC purchases. So I think, yeah, it's really going to come down to, what does the execution look like? And, I think if there's, I look at games like Marvel Snap and how they manage essentially their voucher shop, and it's super exclusive stuff. It's really crazily priced. So I think it's going to be easier to achieve an equilibrium of mint versus burn on the vouchers than I think a lot of folks are recognizing. But of course, that's going to take items on shelves. That's going to take inventory. So
I think the critics would push back though and say, like, couldn't all of that stuff just be priced in DEC and push it to PEG?
I don't think so, because like I wouldn't buy, and I've heard from other people, I'm not going to spend DEC on skins. I think the cards are cool as is. I wouldn't spend a single DEC on skins. The only reason I bought the old skins was for the airdrop points that they had.
Mm.
And but I would totally buy skins for vouchers, especially if I could turn around and sell them. Like if they were
Mm.
actual NFTs, I would buy extra. I would have a set for myself, and I'd probably buy more that you could put on the market.
I would even say that, I'm in the same camp as you, Jimmy, but I would even say as soon as you make it available to DEC purchase, all of a sudden it's available to everybody and there's no sense of exclusivity. Whereas if it's voucher shop first, you're giving everybody who's supporting the ecosystem through staking SPS, through running validator nodes, you're giving them the whitelist, you're giving them the opportunity to take dibs on these super exclusive items first. So I think that's where,
Mm.
it feels like the approach from Crypto Eater's proposal is very clinical. Like there's no psychology wrapped up in there, which is fine. But I think I think it's a miss in terms of underestimating the community's desire for exclusive, super rare. What's going to separate me from the pack? So that's kind of in a nutshell. That's where I think honoring that loyalty to the ecosystem through running nodes, through staking SPS, and therefore giving voucher shop the first, and people who have access to it, first dibs on these super exclusive things. I think is what separates the two proposals in my mind.
Yeah, they could be two different things for sure. Like there is the option to, the potential to make that world that you just described and have it completely separate and still sell things for DEC. They don't
Yeah.
have to be interconnected. Everyone's like, oh, if you sell it, you could be selling it for DEC. And like I said, I'm not going to spend DEC on it. And I know I'm not the only one who thinks that way. Just do both. It's possible. Do both.
Yeah, but do you think with the voucher shop idea of adding it to the Glint store and making them soulbound that you're going to be able to buy anything that'll be able to make unsoulbound?
Wait, soulbound. So voucher cards are going to be soulbound now?
Oh no, the vouchers aren't going to be soulbound. I'm sorry, that's not what it says. But I mean, the Glint shop, everything sold from the Glint shop except for those titles are soulbound. So do you think the voucher items that we buy won't be soulbound? Like
I
you'll
hope
actually
not.
be able to sell them?
I don't know.
I would
That's
be surprised.
Yeah. I mean, I would.
Yeah,
It it,
yeah. So
it
Yeah.
sounded like Nate wanted to make it a completely different shop for vouchers.
You know,
Yeah,
well,
Nate made it sound like it was a cut and paste. Glint freaking vouchers, same thing as vouchers. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, D.
no, it's okay. I was just gonna say, Jimmy, like, but you're saying you wouldn't spend DEC on these things, but
Right.
those vouchers have value that could be swapped for DEC. So if you're
Oh,
spending vouchers, in essence, what's the difference in
I-
reality?
I'm not swapping them for DEC. I could be selling all my
So it's
vouchers,
a psychological
but
thing.
I'm not. It is. It's definitely a
Okay, all right.
psychological thing. And then if you get vouchers through staking SBS and through running nodes, like Jangles was just saying, it's kind of this unique. Here, you can. The original promise of what vouchers should
Yeah,
be: have exclusive access to cool shit, and you get it
yeah,
for.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
simple concept that
I
actually
want the cool shit
could
for
work
sure.
very well. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It
I'm not
could
going to DEC, and I'm not selling my vouchers for DEC, even though I could be. You know.
could you imagine if they rolled out, there's a small part of me that's very OCD, and I like the collector's aspect. And if they rolled out a set of skins for all of Chaos Legion that brought that artwork into the Rebellion style, man, I would be very hard pressed not to have my whole collection look like,
Mm,
it really features the artwork. It's, the Chaos Legion cards look cool, but some of the artwork, I think it's not as polished as Rebellion. It's
yeah.
not as uniquely Splinterlands as I think the stuff is in Rebellion. So I mean there would definitely be a part of me that's pushing to have, all of my Chaos Legion skinned in very modern artwork.
Imagine a skin that was so exclusive and expensive, but it gave Chaos Legion legendary summoners tactics.
Yeah, man.
They
I,
could do
uh,
shit like that. Yeah.
they could do shit like that. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't see
Hmm.
it.
No, it's not going to happen.
Well, they're not gonna, but they could.
Stever,
I mean,
you
yeah,
bastard.
Dude, I'm here to
yeah.
dream.
Sorry, I just don't see stuff like that happening. I really see like event. Like, I don't know. There's some cool things they could do eventually if we get any skins in the voucher shop. That would be definitely kind of cool, but it'll probably be only a few of them. It's gonna be soulbound cards at first, and then eventually maybe we'll get some kind of items that go into the land game, assuming the land game gets built out a little bit more, and we can actually go into the inside of our keeps and castles and decorate them.
I think that's
Yeah.
way down the line.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty far down the line. But that's the kind of stuff I can imagine them giving you. Maybe
Well,
maybe
your-
they'll
your
have full
background,
skins and
Stever.
sets. So
Nate
Yeah, I
was
know.
talking about your background as being like that's going to be like a fully customizable place, right?
Imagine
yeah,
streaming
yeah, he would.
fucking
But
shit
he was
like that.
talking about that like year and a half ago. I feel like.
It wasn't that long ago.
No, it
It
probably was
might feel like
longer.
that.
I think it was longer. I mean,
Was
imagine
it?
streamers could get background stuff, like that could be part of the the Bulldog
Oh, that's a
proposal.
great call.
It's like where streamers have exclusive access to cool freaking backgrounds to decorate your room like that. That could be really cool. There's so much like cool stuff that can be done.
I mean, it kind of feels like I don't know if at any point in 2024 would have been a good time to put this thing forward, but there's bigger fish to fry at the moment, i.e. the validators, i.e. the DHF proposal. It feels like, maybe we're being a little nitpicky with the voucher thing, but I feel like there's so much content up Nate's sleeve that, they could just go in the backlog of shit for the last 2.5 years of
There's
stuff
multiple
and
skins
stock the
there.
shelves.
There's
Yeah.
multiple for scale. Unless, I mean, I'm assuming Nate was telling the truth every time he said they did several characters that are just slightly varied to have skins. So, I mean, there are multiple skins for these sets. Why not just put them out right now? Dude, think about it. A lot of salt happens when people just aren't seeing things. There's no progression. Shit's not happening. If you can just keep players happy by doing little things like that, that changes everything. It makes such a difference just getting those little things. And if they have them, why not just do it?
Yeah.
I'm with you, man.
Well, Bojangles, the good news is that your proposal looks like it's going to pass, and it's a step in the right direction, regardless.
I think so.
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah,
I mean, worst case, we see the voucher shop flop, and 6 months down the road, we swing the pendulum a little bit further and just remove vouchers. But I think, ultimately the right call was not to just eradicate completely from the get-go, and instead give the team a chance to build out this voucher shop and see what's what. But I mean, this gives us options. If we cut vouchers out of the ecosystem completely, in my mind, there's no coming back.
Yeah, because what's next? I mean, I honestly thought, hey, when we were first talking about it, yeah, might as well just get rid of them. It simplifies things and stuff. And then I started hearing from multiple other people the whole other side of like people people who have been here for a while, whose trust is hanging on the balance with this.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, if you cut vouchers, man, what's next? Are you telling us put research? Research is going to be the thing, man. And then you're going to cut research because land never came out in time and we have billions of extra research tokens. It's like
too many people are sitting on millions of research points.
Yeah. I mean, what becomes the next thing just out of like,
Yeah, I don't totally agree with that argument though, because research already gives you a title, so it's already got a reason to try to hold a lot of it. If you're one of the top holders, you get a special title within the game, and that does have a usability bonus for you when you play the game. So it's not the exact equivalent, like
I'm talking when the
getting the
use
same
when
thing.
that goes, here's what we gonna do with research. And I have 100 tokens that we have to burn through.
I do think that when eventually when research comes out, that if because of the delays, things are going to cost a lot more. than they thought they were going to cost, and he's just going to do that. And so like I supported both of these voucher proposals. I was fine with just getting rid of them. But but the big difference though is just because everything you can use a voucher for today, you can use DEC for instead. And so that's why Crypto Eater's argument always made sense to me. It's because it's specifically what you could use a voucher for and how they implemented it. Now,
Well, we solved that. We solved that too, though.
Is moving it away from the DEC stuff and into something else. It still pulls a little bit of value away from other things in the ecosystem because they'll have to make your shop and they'll have to make the things to put into there and they'll have
your
to
shop too,
do
Stever.
that. I'm not a big voucher guy. I'm not the guy with who bought 40 licenses or anything.
Well, you got a shit ton of SPS though.
I do,
but
you're
getting vouchers.
Can't they just for now just add a little box down the end of the Glint shop?
Yeah, just say vouchers only. Click.
Yeah,
here's the card.
And you can even do it in
batches, but they have to put stuff in there, right? Though, unless you think they're just going to sell the same things.
Well, I don't think I'm just going to throw in like one of the reward cards or something like that coming up.
Well, I thought it was going to be the new rewards cards when they come out. Nobody's going to want to buy the current ones with vouchers. I mean, I suppose they could.
That's what I meant. The new ones
do that, but ideally, you wanted to do this sooner than later, right?
Maybe it's the existing rewards cards unsoulbound for an ungodly amount of vouchers.
That'd be nice.
Well, that would be interesting, I suppose.
If I could buy a gold foil Izzyar for 100,000 vouchers, unsoulbound.
I don't know. 100,000 vouchers. No, I'm kidding, but
I was just looking at the top holders.
What are we at? What do we got?
I mean, Aggie SPS Whale is the first name I recognize. 175K.
Yeah, see, and that's a lot. So that better be more than one gold foil Izzyar, 1.5 gold foil Izzyars.
I have like 4,000 currently.
I'm still burning the shit out of vouchers for energy every day.
Oh
until that goes away.
I've been working too much to even play. My account keeps getting stuck on 50 energy, and I feel stupid.
Run the bot, man. Get that sucker going in wild.
Dude, I swap it for SPS and Wild Pass, and I don't keep vouchers around.
I always just hold them because in the past, eventually, running one license and how much SPS I have, when something came up to use them for, I'd never had to buy them. I just had them. And then it would refill and they'd release a new promo card and I'd use thousands of vouchers and then it would refill and just, but now that's not going to be needed. So I guess I will start swapping them into stuff. Something.
No, you'll be one of the first with access to the cool shit, Stever.
Yeah.
Oh, soulbound cards are not that cool unless they're unbound.
Steve, you said something.
See that in the proposal.
Steve, you said something earlier about people with vouchers getting those cards like right away, max. I wouldn't be shocked if they did batches, kind of like what they're doing now, to keep that from happening.
How do you mean? Say it again.
Steve made a comment about if you have a lot of vouchers. Yeah, go ahead, Steve. You say it.
Yeah, I was saying basically that like they might release like one of the rare soulbound cards from the new set you can buy for, I don't know, 10 vouchers. And so you could spend 800 vouchers and get a max copy. He's saying that maybe they would be gated so that instead of it being, it'd be 10 for the first one and 11 for the second one.
Yeah,
12 for the 13th one. And then so if you wanted a max one, it would end up costing you a lot more than 800,000
or something. Yeah.
I mean, I guess they could do it that way, but I mean, how many vouchers do you expect somebody to have? I always keep my number kind of as a number that I think is about as most as you should expect somebody to have, because I have a stake of almost 600,000 SPS and I run a validator. What more do you want someone to do? That's enough for max earnings and champion. and running a validator. So if you're expecting somebody to have more than that to properly use this stuff, that's where they're doing that thing I think they do sometimes where they misprice things.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's why batches could be helpful because, like, going up to silver will be cheaper than someone trying to get up to diamond, or you know what I mean? Like, or getting it right away. Maybe you have to wait every season to get a few more copies.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. If I'm spending a voucher token, I just price it right and let me buy them. I don't see a reason to do that. It's also an extra complication they'd have to do in the pricing model, but they've already done it before, so I guess it would just be some copy paste setup.
Here's
Yeah,
another
I mean, I
proposal
could see it
that's
either
coming
way.
down the line. I don't know if you guys care to
Mm.
give it a little read through.
I think that was a good metric though for Stever, like to say that was a good metric for how many vouchers are like realistic. 600
Yeah.
K staked max for champ and then one node running.
Can you summarize this for us?
This is pretty much the premise right here.
Okay.
Is it so the general idea is making soulbound cards instantly unlockable for a crazy price. So from the get-go, they'd be unlockable for 20x over the course of
Mm.
the year. That would dip down in 3-month blocks to a 5x on the bottom. And
Mhm.
then as soon as the batch has run its course, it starts to move incrementally back towards that 20x.
Do you think that 20x is too low? The first one?
No,
20x is a lot, man.
a lot, man.
I
No
mean,
gold foils are going to be unlocked at
isn't
that.
that only double price? Isn't
What do
the
you mean double
typical price
price?
of, I mean, aren't most rebellion cards running about 10x CP? Isn't that where
Um,
Matt kind of got his number of we're going to start at 18, I'm going to discount it to 10 because when he looks at the rebellion set, most rebellion cards are right around 10. So 20 is only double what a natural set price should be. And for early access to those cards where you'd only be minting them if you were someone who was just trying to basically earn money as opposed to have the card, or you were somebody who um got lucky and pulled some extras in that first month somehow or something. I don't know how that would be possible, but maybe you back to back gold foil the legendary so you don't need any regular legendaries you pull. So you could sell them. But 20x, like, I don't know, I feel like that at that level you might have some people going, no, I don't like it because it's going to turn like the market could flood a little bit in my opinion, at that price, at least on the legendary
Sounds
cards.
like you're going more. You're pushing for more soulbound.
No,
Hard,
no, well, I mean, the problem is, I don't think we can get away from Soulbound. Um, and I don't hate it as much. I mean, I hate it and don't hate it. I keep going back and forth. I don't know exactly how to give away free cards and have this work right and not have it do what's happened with the old free cards and what's going and the frustration of the new Soulbound. I definitely don't like the non-competitive play part of it, especially since our only play version is ranking. So I do understand I want to be able to buy those cards, but I think the premium should be higher to try to keep the idea of the soulbound. Like you say 20, I'm going like 50.
No one's going to do it. No.
Yeah.
Well, you say no one, but if there's a certain card that is very meta, they might, but maybe they don't make meta cards this time. Maybe we don't have Izzyars. We don't have
no,
Kulus.
Matt came out and said this is a meta defining reward card set.
Oh, which makes it even
Yeah.
more important to.
So
I love that. But Jangles, you dropped the USD value at 10x in the People's Guild Discord, right? And you were
Yeah,
saying, I think you said commons were $10.50, right? So you're
for a
saying
max.
like
Yeah,
$21 for a max copy in your thing right? Double that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Steve, you're saying you want people to unlock it for what like $55 for a common max? roughly somewhere in there. You said what did you say? 50,
Yeah.
50 times?
Yeah, like the max copy, add an extra like $50 to it. That's not unreasonable to me.
No, but they're rewards cards, so
If
there's going to be a ton of them printed when it's all said and done. I
And
know
a
you're getting
lot,
early access.
yeah, but
how,
this is only if you want to unlock them in that first window.
how many
You're
people
gonna
are
have to.
right out of the gates because they're just hoarding glint? I bet you more than a handful.
Yeah,
Like,
my point is like if it's a low number, a lot of the bot farms who are holding a lot of glint are going to get a lot of copies. They're going to try to sell them to make money. They're
Who
going to if
cares?
it's low.
My argument is who cares? That's good for the game,
and
in
20x
my
is
opinion.
20x is not low. You got to find the sweet spot of what's going to work and what's not.
Mm.
I mean, you're looking at, okay, so if imagine that a bot form still exists. They're paying $2 a season, ideally, when DEC is at peg to play in wild, or they're either heavily invested through owning modern cards or they're heavily invested through renting. And it is not cheap to rent Rebellion at the moment if you want to play at the highest levels. So I mean, I think we've done a lot to really curb bot farm behavior. At this point, I feel like, I look at, imagine the next set comes out, and if any of us want to continue to play in modern at the top of the game, it's going to be probably $15,000 to do that with Rebellion plus whatever's next. And then we're getting cards that we've got to pay a huge chunk of cash to get unlocked, assuming that you get the RNG to even pull these cards. I just feel like it's a big question mark of sustainability and where's the attraction to new folks. Right now the only thing that you can sell is SPS. That's the
after
only
4 weeks,
way,
which is automatically locked and you can't touch it for 4 weeks.
which I think is a good thing if we
Yeah,
had
but you have nothing
reward
to
cards
sell.
to,
You cannot. You can't play
Well,
there.
I mean, you can pull the jackpot items. It's not likely, but you can pull them. I've pulled one beta pack since the change.
In the
Okay,
first 24
Steve.
hours, you could pull them.
Yeah,
No, I've pulled one since the change
I
so
pulled a
far.
beta pack since
One,
But
and you're like a heavy
yeah,
user.
well, I'm not anymore. I used to be, but I have enough glint at the end of the season to do the first tranche of chests every season. So I do those. And one time so far, I've hit a jackpot. After they lowered it to the, instead of 1% point.
Okay, well let's phrase it this way and get your take, Steve. So, you've obviously benefited of being an OG. You bought cards, way before the big spike, and you've seen your collection rise to, damn near $1 million. You've seen it come way back down. Are you assuming that the current status quo for reward cards continues? Are you going to be likely to buy into the next set of Splinterlands cards and max it out, knowing that the only asset that you can receive and ensure that you're getting a return is SPS?
Well, I'm a bad person to ask the question.
No, you're a perfect person to ask based on that answer.
No, because I'm in a unique situation. As even as today, I've taken more out of this game than I put into it, and most people can't say that.
Okay,
Who
well,
play the game
what's your
currently.
answer to the question?
Yeah, I'm gonna max out the next set pretty much no matter what. I'm gonna max it how I maxed out Rebellion. I'm not gonna go heavy in the pre-sale. I'm gonna buy a decent amount of packs just because I am a content producer. So like doing 1,000 pack opening video is kind of fun. Do something like that, and then I'm gonna slowly buy things off the market over time. I'm gonna chase the cards that I see that are meta defining in the beginning, just like I did this last time. I maxed out like a Vina first. And I got the Grimbar Dunes and the Manaroths right away because I thought they were going to be that important. And then I went, and I don't think that'll change in the next set, because the next set to me will be kind of exciting, because if I have a Max Rebellion set and I have a Max whatever the next thing is, and I have a Max Reward set from this first set because I do, and I could be one of the few players playing with, close to all max stuff in modern at that point. Once this other stuff is gone. So I don't see a reason to not do that. But that's just because this is like my hobby. I don't do a lot of other stuff currently that I invest money into. So I don't see myself just quitting Splinterlands, especially if we make it to another set launch, because to make it to another set launch, I feel like things have to start to turn around. I don't know if they would try to drop a new set if things were like as bad as they are right now.
Shouldn't we have like 1,000 people with your mentality? So instead of you being like, I'm the only guy who's gonna have a max set, shouldn't there be like a couple thousand people with max sets right out of the gates? Like, wouldn't that be the goal?
Yeah, it would be nice. But I don't look at buying my playing deck. I've never looked at as I need to get a return on these. They're my playing deck. If I buy specific cards because I plan to try to flip them, that's where I've looked like I would get my my little return. And then I don't make my ice cream money selling vouchers or Steam or anything like that. I make it by posting my videos on Hive, pulling in those HBD rewards, and that's my ice cream money that I take out of the ecosystem sometimes. I don't really pull Splinterlands stuff out very often. I did during the last like bull market of Splinterlands sell some beta stuff, but that's because I had a lot of extra. And I mean, that stuff was going for absurd amounts of money. And so if Chaos ever starts going for absurd amounts of money, I'll probably close down my 2 Chaos bot accounts and sell them. But my
At this
original
point,
playing
an
deck, I
absurd
would just
amount of money
hold,
for
so-
Chaos is $2 a pack, man.
Yeah, I know.
What's up, Keys? Glad you can hop on, brother.
What's up, guys? Good to see you all.
Is that Jimmy?
Yeah.
That is Jimmy. Okay.
Jimmy, what's up, my man?
And another Jimmy on the wall right behind you under my
Yeah, that's my Jimmy back there.
tons of Jimmy all of a sudden.
Yeah, I can hear Jimmy.
Nice.
How was the stream, Keys? How was
It
the
was
chat?
good. Infidel got to talk to Infidel, and Gank hopped on. So
Oh, nice.
Gank has made his return back to
Wow.
streaming.
He's alive?
He is. He was
Okay.
talking proposals and stuff, or stuff already over my head.
It was what happened? What's the deal?
He wants everyone to vote for some Hive proposal.
Oh, yeah, I think that's already happened.
Yeah, yeah. I think you can still vote.
Yeah, you can
Maybe-
still
Yeah.
vote, but I would be
Everybody
surprised
still
if
needs to vote.
most folks in Splinterlands, I think, have probably cast their vote.
I have not.
Well,
Oh, yeah. Well, then you should, I suppose.
Awkward.
Try to.
Just saying.
I
Yeah,
proxied
and-
Matt. My
And I know
proxy-
Infidel hadn't either. So both of us, we just did that. We're on the
good
balcony
call
right
out, Gank. All right.
Nice. Yeah, I proxied my high votes to Matt like when I joined the game because I figured I'm not paying attention to what's going on in Hive all the time.
Hmm.
He is, and he will likely be voting in the best interest of Splinterlands.
That's smart. I should do that too.
This one I don't have to one less thing to worry about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh.
Don't delegate them to me.
Oh,
Are you still playing So Keep, Keys? Digging
I
it?
am. I suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play that a lot too, and I cannot figure out how people are getting those high scores, even after hearing how they're doing it. I have not been able to replicate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do okay. I get like 1 out of the money. Like every day. Like if it takes the top 25, I'm 26. Top 30, I'm 31. So
Have you
I
been
think-
buying cards?
I mean, I bought packs and now I did buy a bunch of the fiend traps when they were 17 cents. I'm like, people are idiots. So I bought a whole bunch of those. So, and then the
Nice.
Tempest Tower. I like the Tempest Tower. I
Cool.
think both of those are slept on.
Well, Keys, did you guys talk about the we shifted gears out of it a little bit, but I'm curious to hear, are you across the voucher proposals at all at the moment? Are you leaning one way or the other? Is that something you're even remotely interested in at this point?
Yeah, option C. Not
Abstain?
remotely interested. I mean,
Nice.
Infidel asked me and Gangsta asked me too. I'm like, to be honest, I'm in hibernation. You know, like it's a bear market. I'm a bear, so I want to hibernate for a while. And I'm accumulating, I'm playing a little bit here and there. I'm not selling anything. If anything, I'm making moves and I'm waiting to get some SPS at the right moment, hopefully. But other than that, yeah, whatever happens, happens. So, I mean, I hate to be one of those apathetic players, but I am. But I'm still involved in stuff, still looking for
Man,
opportunities.
I think we've seen a lot of, guys like Virus, guys like Rogue. I haven't seen or heard from them in ages. I think the apathy has kind of swept over the community in a big way,
Level Up
unfortunately.
Life. That's another one I haven't seen around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah, it's
tough.
interesting. This does feel for someone who's been around for a while, this feels like that time before the game got popular. When there was just like not a whole lot of people talking about it, nobody streaming about it.
Yeah.
Things falling off, things were cheap. You could get, I mean, a DEC was always around this price, and you were just buying beta packs for half off and chilling. And then things kind of blew up. And it took a really crypto summer for that to happen. And so we just got to hope that this crypto summer, like this next bull run, that it hits at least something connected to our ecosystem, something our players is holding, because that's when things start to get kind of wild. Because like I was pointing out in my stream, like if my 13,000 hive that's worth $4,000 10x to 40 grand, then I could spend 10 grand on Splinterlands without even thinking about it, really. But if Hive doesn't catch any tail end of this, we don't catch any tail end of this, and it's just BTC and ETH guys getting that money, I don't know if we can get that money into our game or not.
Oh, there's going to be an alt season. There's always an alt season. The bull run hasn't even started yet. That's what's crazy. I mean, it's usually 4 to 6 months after the halving. All the run up to the all-time high of Bitcoin was because of all the ETF stuff that's passing legally, and those guys literally coming in and buying like 9,000 Bitcoin a day, just kind of chunk.
Yeah, but the problem is that ETF money doesn't flow into altcoins. It flows into
Well, that's what
penny
I'm saying.
stocks
Yeah.
We have not had
and stock stuff. So is the alt season going to be like the alt season of the past? I mean,
think it has
a
to
lot
be.
of crypto people are still wrecked. If you were in
Yeah.
Celsius, you're still wrecked. If you were in Voyager, you're still wrecked. If you were still an FTX guy, you're expecting money back, but for now, you're still wrecked. And
If you bought Chaos.
ETF guys,
Still wrecked.
yeah, if you're up Chaos, you're
Way to
wrecked.
bring it home.
But
Yeah.
but if you're an ETF guy, you're probably up 15%, 16%. You're chilling. And when you take that money out, it goes into your stock brokerage account, and maybe you play around and buy some ETH ETF at that point, but you don't go buy, Hive or
No, you're
Well,
making
or
a point, though.
dog with hat or any
You're
of that
making-
crap.
You're making my point. Like everything
Yeah.
that he's done up is the ETF thing. What happens with the alt mart runs and then an actual bull run is there is a renewed awareness for blockchain and crypto, where people go, "Oh shit, I've never really heard of this. What is this?" And more people. It's just a little nudge into more mainstream awareness, basically, and then that encompasses all of crypto when it happens. And again, 4-year cycle, and we haven't really even started this one yet. It's coming
And
soon.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Plus, I think there's two other factors we have to take into account this next bull run whenever it hits. One is the larger, the macroeconomic picture. It's completely different than where it was 4 years ago in 2020, 2021, when everybody was home, on their computers and involved in looking at stuff. And then, so it's going to be a different bull run for sure. But I think a lot of the new people that will come into it are going to be more focused on social and gaming and collecting and those aspects of crypto more than in the past, because every 4 year cycle, you're also getting a whole new batch of new people that are young looking into this stuff and are at a time now where they actually have disposable income, where they were either teenagers or college the last bull run. Now they can kind of get into it. And I think gaming is going to be like the entry point for those people.
That's a good call. Yeah, we haven't seen the the NFTs. If that's another one to tack on to Stever's wrecked comment, is if you went heavy into the NFTs 3 or 4 years ago, you're wrecked. But the
I went heavy
ETFs
into
is
NFTs.
yeah.
Yeah,
Gaming and
if you owned
NFT, gaming
anything
and
on
collectible.
wax, you're
It's
very
the
wrecked as
namesake.
well.
Well, the
I mean,
beautiful part is
oh,
that,
go ahead, Keys.
yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, for me personally, as long as you don't overextend, then you are willing to hold stuff, then I think getting wrecked is all timing. Now, obviously some projects go down and burn in flames, but for the most part, if you can hold on, and I think Splinterlands is the best case scenario, or best use case for this, is if you just hold Splinterlands assets, they should turn back around at some point.
Fingers
2028.
crossed. I mean, do you guys feel like, and Steve, you're a little bit critical of the ETF representing a similar path for alt season? Do you think I almost look at it as like two completely different worlds, right? The ETF is attracting traditional money. That's an entry point for like my mom and dad, who would never ever buy Bitcoin in traditional avenues, whereas now they have access through their brokerage.
Yeah, what it is it's an easy button for getting into crypto that doesn't make you do the same learning you used to have to do, and you don't end up in that echo chamber that you used to end up in, where all of a sudden you were like buying some Bitcoin or some Ethereum and you had it on Coinbase, and then you saw these people making crazy gains with coins on MetaMask. Like, if you don't get into that ecosystem, then the money doesn't continue to flow. And now they have a way to flow that money where you don't even have to enter our crypto Twitter or our discords or any of that stuff. You can just go to your same stock bubble that you're in, your same brokerage account, and just be like, add some BTC to my account, watch it go up and go cool. And then when that money, when you're rebalancing into more stock portfolio stuff. You're not rebalancing into altcoins. So the one thing is, like, because like eventually, if this run we do see like 100K and 200K Bitcoin, yeah, some of the Bitcoin whales who have Bitcoin, self-custodied and in places where they can bring it into altcoins, they probably will. But there's going to be a whole group of other people holding multiple $1 million worth of Bitcoin that just aren't going to be doing that. They're not going to be coming to our ecosystem.
I don't
Well,
know, man. I feel like the
that's
ETF
fair.
just creates the public awareness. I feel like if you're watching the tide rise on something like Bitcoin, and if I went in through one of the more traditional paths like my brokerage account, you see what's on the table with other cryptos out there, and you start following like crypto banter, or you start following folks on YouTube talking about crypto and what's next to come. So I think adoption of crypto is still like 10% of the world, right? It's still really early days, and I think ultimately the ETFs just create the awareness for a lot of the folks that were previously clueless and or they were decidedly ignorant to what crypto represents and can do.
Well, even
And
if
that's
those
only a
people-
small class of people.
No, I mean, even if some of those people stay clueless, like that's a whole different thing. Like people who have people managing their money, they're dumping into stocks, they're dumping into Bitcoin, they don't care. There's still a shitload of people, and those aren't really the people you're trying to turn on to crypto to change things. Those are going to be more status quo people anyway. You're trying to get the billions of people in all these other different countries to say, wow, crypto really freaking helps me out. Oh, wow. Venezuela, their economy collapses and people start using little cryptos for microtransactions because everyone has a damn cell phone these days. Even like my wife was traveling Morocco and there's people like selling incense on the street, but they're giving you their WhatsApp code and stuff to communicate with them. It's crazy. But said that's who you're trying to get. And every single bull run, you're going to get millions of more people from that spectrum becoming aware of crypto. Now that it's on PayPal, it's on Venmo, it's on all this stuff. That wasn't the case. Amazon's building their back end for crypto. That's new. That wasn't the case on the last bull run. So each time it just takes a couple notches up. Doesn't matter that there's going to be tons of people who have more Bitcoin exposure who are not going to look into it. There's going to be a ton of people who actually do start looking into it, just like every bull run. But that's an exponential increase every bull run.
The ETFs will push the price of BTC up, and as the price of BTC goes up, the media will cover it more and more, and it'll just get more and more exposure, which will bring in the retail, and which will bring in exactly what Jimmy's saying. I agree. I think it's gonna bring in a lot of just the regular people, and when they get in at BTC at 100 and it goes to 150, they're gonna start looking what else is out there.
Retail is key. That's the key
Yeah.
word. Retail adopts it. That's a huge.
I hadn't heard that Amazon was building out support for crypto payments, but I do. Are you guys aware of Stripe? It's the big payment processor that a lot of retailers use, especially online retailers. I know Stripe is building something to support crypto payments too, which that further pushes your angle, Jimmy. And that as soon as retail picks up on this stuff, it's off to the races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
agree
we're
though
only
that
looking at
Stever's point though of saying like that the people that are in those ETFs that got the price to this point, their money is like stuck in that ecosystem. I do agree with that, and that money's not going to drip down. But I think the when the price goes up, it's going to attract all of those other people.
the one thing too that we're not really discussing is blockchain technology. We're crypto in and of itself is one part of blockchain technology, but as soon as companies really start putting records and things on the blockchain as a whole, the blockchain itself is going to get more accepted, at a cultural level, business level, and a professional level. So then I feel like that's also going to be a giant step to having addresses and things like that to be able to hold your records and stuff that are online or have access to your records.
Yeah, that's a huge point, man. And we were talking about Solana pretty deep a couple of weeks ago, Keys, and I still feel like Solana is the horse that's going to be ushering in that new era.
Yeah, I went back and got a little bit more after our conversation. I looked into some stuff, and yeah, I just think the technology, because how many people in Africa are buying ETFs, but how many of those people would send, microtransactions or play games that they could get rewards? And I think that's where the real opportunity is. Like Jimmy, you said, the billions of people out there that can't buy the ETFs or aren't in that position yet. So I don't know. I don't know. There's it's gonna be a wild time. Combine blockchain with AI, and it's unprecedented, and you can't even really map it out how it's going to work.
I will point out I also use the term crypto synonymously with blockchain when I speak of things. It's probably erroneous, but I kind of think of it as like the same thing.
Yeah. And it's weird because back in the day, you used to have like your computer guy. Oh, I have a computer guy that can fix this. But as it grew, you would have to have specialists for different things. I think that's kind of where blockchain technology will go too. Is like no more just like a blockchain guy. You'll have specialists.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
welcome
sorry to end the
to TP.
conversation there.
No, well, welcome to TPG Crypto Banter crossover here. This is fun. Well, cool. Do you guys want to do some little bit of battling? Is anybody up for a couple
I'm
battles?
curious as to what Jimmy is doing.
I'm I'm working on
Mad
it
scientist, man.
always. Yeah.
What? You building a robot?
Yeah, pretty much. They're two guitar amp.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's kind of like a robot. So this is Scott Law's amplifier. He's a picker from Oregon who's a phenomenal player, good buddy of mine. We were at a show last night. He was playing with the Phil Lesh people over there. And we're just doing a little upgrade to his amplifier. And it's always on and going in the background. I have to be multitasking, otherwise I just can't get stuff like this done.
Is Scott Law bluegrass guy?
Yeah, he's
Folk
he's
music guy?
bluegrass. Yeah, he was known as like a bluegrass picker, but he's like jazz, he's rock and roll. He did a ton of gigs with Phil over the years too. He was like one of the regular house guys down at Terrapin Crossroads as well. But
Yeah, I bought some DX6, but I can't get it into the game because it's not working so that's why I've been kind of quiet. I'm trying to add it to the game.
DX6?
The Dark Crystals, DEC, I meant to say.
DEC deck. Sick. Gotcha.
Deck, yeah.
Yeah.
They won't let me transfer it in.
Hive engine?
No, from Binance.
Oh.
It's weird. It doesn't like I hit start transfer and it just says approve without asking me to approve. And so I'm like, well, I didn't get prompted to approve, so my wallet never makes the transaction.
Are you in Binance US? Are you VPN and
Oh no, I just have money on Binance Chain from back in the day. It's harder to get money onto Binance nowadays, but I was telling you in the Discord that I found a few $1,000s over there the other day. So
well, that's nice.
that was cool.
It's a nice little find.
yeah.
I don't know how
the Binance couch.
I'll give Elephant Money a little shout out. Somehow they repegged their stable coin and then overpegged it. So like a long time ago, I deposited $2,000 of their stable coin into their staking platform. And then they lost peg and they were like one of those coins at like 10 cents. Somehow their coin went back up to being worth $1.50 and they gave me back my 2,000 coins. So
sweet.
Yeah.
Free money.
I found $13 on an Ethereum account and I can't even transfer it over.
Because of the gas fees?
Yeah. I was like, well, crap. I'll just
You're gonna have to pay
here.
$50 to get the 13.
Yeah.
Seriously, man.
How's EMP going, Stever? How's that their new thing?
EMP Fusion, it's helped a little bit. It'll take some more time for people to get into it, and I did buy a little bit more and I put it into there, but I think that they'll go back up. They're changing a lot of different things, and so it's been doing okay. I don't know if the thing there that we got into will ever go back up because they need our coins to go back up, because all it is they added our coins to one of their things, and well, if our coin continues to go down, then that thing will never recover. So
right, I made my money back on that with a lucky lottery draw early on. I won like some huge one of the daily lottery prizes and broke even like immediately on that. So I've just been taking my claim every day when I remember and gas isn't too high.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I hit the lottery a couple times, so I have like a huge deposit. So the thing is, nobody will come and play the game if SPS is going down because the gamification of that contract. But it's still on their site. It's still there. We could still advertise it, but it's hard to advertise it right now because our coin is worth nothing.
I wouldn't go in, and it's a downward spiral. If I didn't win the lottery drawing, I'd be way down on that.
Yeah,
thing. Way down. Yeah.
But that's the gamification of that contract, right? You show people, hey, I won the lottery, so I'm not way down.
I would never tell a friend like, oh, try this and try it out. I'd be like, steer clear just because of
Steve, have you looked into? You were talking a couple of shows back with Bebe around the uh ETH staking node. What we should do with the some of the bigger, blue chip
Well,
cryptos
yeah,
that we
yeah,
got in the
yeah. I
DAO.
brought it up in your Discord, but then like the guy with the millions of SPS was like, no, I don't want to do that. So I'm like, well, never mind.
Well, and then the Monster Maverick show, Neil and Vet were talking about other options that we can do with something like ETH from the DAO to generate, ongoing revenue. And I think he called out DeFi Llama as being an avenue for that sort of stuff. Have you looked into
Yeah,
that at
like
all?
I haven't looked into it. I know DeFi Llama and I know the stuff that he's talking about, but all of that is much more risky than an ETH staking node. Because anytime you go into any kind of liquidity providing, no matter what, and I feel like it would be dangerous, is because you could miss a big come up in ETH. And I think VetV has it right that some of the bigger holders, the way that they're looking at our DAO is the final buyout for all of us if this game fails. And the reason they want them to hold those cryptos they're holding is, let's say this time next year, ETH is worth $10,000 or $12,000 a coin because of the ETH ETFs and everything, maybe even more. Then that 300 ETH that they're holding is now worth substantially more money. And then you could do a final proposal like Splinterlands, a DAO buys all 300,000 SPS, back from the community, or 3 billion at this price. And we all send our coins to the DAO and we all get a payment in ETH and we wrap things up and go home relatively happy if those coins are at a high enough value. Um, and VetV brought that out, that some of the big holders look at the DAO like that. They're like our piggy bank to back this whole project. And if that piggy bank blows up and gets big enough and we still can't get people to come play our game, then we just crack open the piggy bank and close up shop and we all go home with the final payday.
Mm. Wow.
But
Well,
that's where an ETH staking node, though, it doesn't mess up the piggy bank. It just grows the piggy bank, because unless you somehow lose your keys to your staking node and somebody steals them, which hopefully the DAO could find somebody smart enough and to do that from from their multi-sig wallet so that somebody couldn't just jack their keys. All you're doing is staking your Ethereum, earning a small, like 7% return in Ethereum. And then when Ethereum blows up, you can't sell it immediately because you have to shut down your node, and there is a process and a timeline to do that. So you'd want to make sure all of that was really spelled out. And then, if you only like the piggy bank model, then you just earn more ETH, and the DAO just continually earns more ETH. If you liked our little idea we talked about, you take half of that and you buy and burn DEC. But
I still
don't
love the concept,
don't
man.
know. So
I'm looking at the comments now. I don't think Crypto Eater said no. He just said that we didn't necessarily need to run a node. We could just stake it, and we could get 7%.
well, if you want to stake it, you got to give it to a third party usually,
Yeah, that's the
from my
sketchy.
understanding.
That's the sketchy.
Maybe
like
you could
time on the
maybe
chain.
you could stake it to somebody else's node, but then you also are relying on making sure that that node is online and working. And if somebody else is managing that, then you have to be watching that and move your stake around. And every time you want to move your stake, there's an Ethereum fee, two of them, one to get it off, one to put it on a new node. And so if you run your own node and they run it, they make sure it's up, and then we join the Splinterlands node. He is correct. Instead of us staking to the Splinterlands node to make it bigger and stronger and have a better chance of doing transactions, they could just go find somebody who's willing to run a node and stake 100 Ethereum to it. And that is a little bit easier. But there is diminishing returns, right? You got to find a node like with somebody saying they're running in a good place with good internet with maybe like 50 ETH on it or 60 ETH. Because I forget where the earnings start to get diminished if you have too much ETH on a node. It still has like a maximum amount of times it'll hit, and then you're just sharing with more people.
You should open the discussion again, man. I didn't know that was why you stopped. And I don't think any conversation should ever stop because one person says they don't like an idea. You know, 'cause
Well, nobody else like came to talk either. Like the only guy who came to talk
I
was
don't
the
know
biggest
enough
whale,
about
and he said, we don't need to run a node.
yeah, but the DAO needs to do more stuff like that. We should totally be finding ways to, safely invest and grow funds. Running a node is a kind of a no-brainer in that regard. Is if you can get,
I agree.
the mechanics done, get people you trust doing it, and have the multi-sig thing going on. We should be doing that with a bunch of stuff. And I think what you were saying before, it could almost the DAO could act as multi-purpose. It should be funds to help grow the game, grow the ecosystem, invest in multiple things such as ETH nodes, just a random example. And it could also, if we're growing that whole thing, act as the that life vest, life ring. If the game goes belly up, there's your final cash out. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It could totally be both.
Yeah, I love it, Steve. I would say the same thing. I would encourage you to pick up that conversation again. You're far more knowledgeable on this stuff than I am. I would default.
Me too.
Yeah, you'd be the hero, the ETH hero over here.
Yeah, it would be interesting to get the DAO earning money, especially now that we're starting to see for the first time ever, people are approving spending some of our money. At least it's looking like
we have to, right?
The SPS one is going to get approved, but it's also looking like the promo card one's going to get approved this time around. So both of those are getting done. So
price that right. Anyone listening, price that promo card correctly, please, for the love of Jesus. Price it right. Price it right. Let's sell.
What is the right price? I'm curious.
Depends on what it is. It's not $300 for a maxed rare. That's not the right price.
That's a good point.
Matt made the point on our last interview that the rewards that they were offering perpetuated the model that they're trying to get away from with Chaos Legion. You're buying all these cards to get the shit that goes with it. You're not
buying for the value of the card.
You're not buying the card. Price it right. If we're going to do a whole bunch of them, do them one at a time and experiment to find the right price. The last 3 promo cards, Zerial and the 2 halving cards, which I still want to see renamed the Halving Henchman, right? Or the Halving Enforcer, whatever it is. Halfling, Enforcer. Anyway, we have enough that we could experiment and find the right price. The last 3 have been way overpriced.
Yeah.
And some should be expensive. I think, there should be kind of a rotation where some are just exorbitantly expensive. It's an amazing card. It's a legendary, and it should be really pricey. But we should also have commons and rares and things in there that everyone could participate.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the pricey ones shouldn't be pricey during the bear market.
Exactly. There you go. Right on the head. Nail on the head.
Keep it low now when people don't have any money.
Doesn't the proposal kind of outline the amount of money that they're trying to make per sale too? So they should hopefully use that to help base their pricing.
Well, they estimate a target, like I forget what it was, 100, a million DEC per card or something like that, or 2 million based on what they've gotten in the past. But again, that was from, artificially inflated with giveaways. And there were a lot of people flipped to get the giveaways, and a lot of people didn't participate. So it actually might be an accurate thing if you get less people flipping and more people participating. I'm curious to find out. And we have a diminishing player base right now.
Are we still going down? I thought we haven't hit our bottom yet.
I check the markets and I see names selling. That's my gauge. Stever's selling cards. Did you get a gold foil summoner this last airdrop?
Yeah,
Jimmy?
I did. So I'm
I
trying
knew
to.
it.
I'm selling that one.
Selling
It's the
out.
first one. It's the first one I've got. I shared it on Twitter that the first time I got a gold foil was also the first time I got the minimum. So
Eh,
every other time I got extra cards, but they were just regular, like an extra 2 or 3. So, and then I
Well,
bought the DEC to transfer in to buy my regular copies, but then the game won't let me transfer it in right now. So,
oh boy. Well, it looks like we're somewhat stagnant in wild battles and modern battles. Total is right around that, what, 56K. It looks like we've had a couple spikes, but yeah, we're definitely down to slim pickings on the loyal player base here.
oh, the numbers are so small now. It's so sad. Where'd you all
No,
go? No,
I mean
We're all here right now.
yeah, this is
We're all
it.
soulbound. We're all
This is
soulbound.
Praetoria right here.
Yeah.
Hibernating.
Can we go back to that comment about the DAO as a reserve fund for like if it doesn't work out? I don't know
Let's do
why,
it.
but that kind of like just hits me wrong a little bit. I feel like I don't know why. Like I'm on this ship till it sinks. And I would just like I would love for us to like we gotta take some risks. And I know it's not like we want to just waste money in the DAO, but I feel like we got to do what we need to do to like keep this game going, keep this ecosystem going, um, and to grow this game. And if we're being too conservative because we're trying to keep that fund, then that's what's going to happen. You
Set
know,
the stage for it. No, that's right. Just the mentality, just thinking that is setting up for it in a way, from a certain point of view.
well, yeah, I'd never really heard about it until Vet V brought it up on that show that that's the way some of the large holders think about the DAO when he talks to them. And I mean, he would talk to them more than I would. He's more on the investor side. He has even a bigger collection than me when it comes
I
to
don't
this
think
game.
that's
One of the
true anymore.
bigger. No, he still does. He still runs because he owns. He's
Maybe nodes, but I think almost everything
nodes,
else he's
and
sold
then
out of.
He sold out some,
he
not all.
doesn't play it, but he's got an account that's got more cards than me on it.
He was selling out
So-
alt accounts. He still has a main deck that's pretty
Yeah.
solid. He had multiple alts that he was getting rid of.
Well, I mean, okay, so suppose that the game does pop off. Regardless, the DAO is still going to be responsible for managing battle rewards once distribution is up. And therefore we should be looking at, kind of perpetuating our SPS bag through
Yes.
something like this ETH node. We should be growing other assets with the plan to eventually absorb more SPS off the market, drive the value up of SPS, allow for us to, in perpetuity offer battle rewards for
Yeah.
players.
we need our money making money.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's plenty of ways to do that in DeFi. I don't know what the community's risk tolerance is. You can definitely earn more than you can on a staking node. You could probably, without too much risk, go into a couple things making around 20 to 30%. But they're all of those have certain risk to them.
HBD
So-
got shot down. The Matt Clark's Howlazar, I forget how to pronounce his name.
Alazor, yeah.
He proposed the put a chunk of switch some DEC to HBD and earn 20% on it, and that got shot down pretty hard, like a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't really even suggest going into but I mean, there is an argument we're holding USDC and ETH, and so you could go into a USDC ETH farm, and I think there's some on Curve that earn like 10 or 15%. And the thing on that is that if ETH goes on a run with these ETFs, even though most people are saying we're going to go down with ETH first and then up, because of stupid grayscale. Grayscale is going to ruin the ETFs because they have $9 billion worth of ETH in the ETH ETF that they run, but they're charging 2.5% fees on that fund. The competitors like BlackRock and everybody, they're literally offering 0.25% fees. So these guys are 2.25 over. And so people are going to sell the crap out of that ETF to put their money into the other ETF. But for the ETFs to manage that, all that ETH gets dumped onto the market, and then BlackRock or whoever gets those orders comes and buys it up later.
Well, those guys,
So
why
it's gonna
change their freaking fees? Just
yeah, and we already saw that's what happened on the Bitcoin one too. The Bitcoin one at first it went down for like I don't know, maybe like a week or like 2 days, and then it started skyrocketing up. But BlackRock was same thing. Grayscale had the Bitcoin ETF 1.5%. Everybody else was doing zero fees or whatever. So all these people were selling. And then but the difference is $9 billion of ETH. It's a lot more of the market share of ETH than they had of the market share of Bitcoin. So their selling is going to hurt ETH even more if people do flood out of that product.
that would be the buy opportunity. Right then.
Yeah.
I believe that. I could see everything. I could see even Bitcoin taking another little dip before the run. That's a day in the life of crypto.
Well, you know the crazy Bitcoin theory right now, right?
I don't know. You're the wild card. Let's hear it.
It's that Trump is going to announce at the Bitcoin conference that he's going to make Bitcoin a United States reserve currency
That would be
and keep it on the balance sheet of the United States if he gets elected.
They should everyone
When,
that should
not if, when.
party say that. Yeah. That
Wait.
Yeah, well, I mean,
what?
he is speaking at the BTC event in like a week and a half, and that it already got leaked that he was going to announce that, and the guy that leaked it, and Elon's going to be there too. So the theory is Elon's going to talk to Trump, like do an interview with Trump where
Elon's
he
gonna make
announces it to
Doge.
Elon.
He's going to say, forget Bitcoin, Doge. Make Dogecoin legal tender in the U.S. and fuck Bitcoin. And that's the plan. That's the plan. I'm calling it now.
No,
Calling it now. Man, that's
no. But either Elon's going to talk right before him, or they're going to talk together.
dude,
And the reason a lot of people are saying he's going to do it is because it got leaked, and then after it got leaked, the guy who leaked it, Elon got him suspended off of Twitter, and they think it's because they didn't want anyone to leak their news early.
Dude,
and
I would
also
love to see Trump and Elon Musk on stage together doing whatever it is they do. That would just be pretty amazing to witness.
Replacing Bitcoin as a reserve currency, there's the president does not have any power to do that whatsoever.
he can direct the he can appoint the new treasurer, head of the treasurer. I forget what that guy's called, but the whatever his name is. But he gets to appoint that person as long as that person can get confirmed through the Senate that in theory he would have, then that person can buy things and put them on the United States balance sheet. So
that can happen, yeah, but not replace it as like the reserve.
No,
like
no. I didn't mean if you taken it as the reserve currency. No, I meant just it be a reserve of our currency.
It could also
the way
be
that the United States holds gold, oil, all the different things that we hold in our, because we have a ton of debt, but we also have a ton of assets.
Do they tax themselves for every transaction like they do?
Probably not. No, because you don't. Yeah. If you've never worked for a government agency, you don't pay taxes when you work for them.
Yeah.
So,
dude, hopefully pushing that would make both parties say, like, if he pushed that and then it was incredibly popular, it should be embraced by both parties. It should, hopefully that would be kind of a tipping point to make it everyone say, you know what, this is something we really have to embrace at this point in time. Otherwise, we're going to be we're gonna go the way of the dodo. Who was saying that in one of their things recently? But yeah, I mean, that's it. We have to embrace crypto and Bitcoin, and hopefully that would make everyone realize, okay, we have to do this. It's the populist move.
Yeah, maybe part of Biden quitting and them going with Harris is giving her a chance to rebrand on some of those issues.
Do you guys, obviously I'm not on the ground in the States, but what is the general feeling? Is there, as soon as I saw the assassination attempt, my first thought was there is no way that Trump loses this election. I is that what the general feeling is back home?
That's
So
what the general feeling is, especially because Trump's never led in the national poll, which is wild. It's almost impossible for Republicans to lead in a national poll because of the heavy populace of like the New York and California that skews that a couple points. If he's up, like they're saying, 6 points in the national poll, that is like a devastating loss for the Democrats in the election.
There was no way
So
Biden could beat him. That literally,
yeah.
basically what Steve was saying. So
It's not just that. It would be like Trump would get a massive majority in the House, and he would probably have the Senate by like
oh yeah,
they
it
would
would
lose all the Senate ones at
would
this
be a
at this
mandate.
rate.
Yeah.
So I think what they're doing is they're at least going to bring in Kamala, so you don't have the people who have to go there and be like, I can't vote for a man who can't speak and who can't talk and can't walk and can't like function anymore. You can make me get there to vote for the first woman and the first minority woman, and I can do that with a conscience. But there was going to be some people who were going to walk into that booth and be like, I can't vote for Biden, the guy can't even talk, I have to vote for Trump, or I have to not vote.
A
But
lot of people would
if that
happily vote. That's part of the thing too. Biden
Yeah.
lost a lot of people for a lot of reasons, not just the age. A lot of other things were going on. But it's not guaranteed to be Kamala quite yet. We could also see
No, it's not. But with
it's a good
Nancy
chance it will
Pelosi
be.
endorsing her today, and the fact that she's the only person that can have Biden's money that's been raised so far, and so
Yeah.
she's sitting on a war chest of like 120 million or something like that, and that just disappears if it's not her.
Well, it doesn't disappear. You put
Um,
a super PAC, and
no, you can't do that.
you can do that.
You know what's actually kind of funny? I think what ends up
use it
happening to that
differently.
money if she doesn't run
Huh?
is that she just gets it, which is kind of funny.
What?
It could just be because it's not super PAC money. It's a money for her campaign. And if your campaign comes to an end and there's money in there, I think you just get to keep it because people gave it to you to run your campaign.
Well, they
And you
can
ran
also
your
use it-
campaign and you
they can-
lost. If there's like money left over in those things, that's like one of the sneaky things that people do sometimes to get a little bit of money. It's not usually at this scale though. So maybe there'd be some kind of I don't know the law on it, but I know like that's one of the sneaky things I've heard people do when they run for local elections and they don't even plan to run again, but they still fundraise and then they don't run. But technically you just give them that money. Do you get any promise when you do a political donation of what they're going to do with it?
There's
I
tons
mean-
of ways around that though. They're like
yeah.
and there's a ton of fresh money waiting to cut. Like there's tons of people who would support whoever this
Yeah,
is
but why would
Check
she
it out,
move
check it
that
out.
money to somebody else? She wants
Check
to
it out.
run. She's
Check
going
it
to
out.
give it to somebody else.
Well, it's not her call. Like if there's an open convention and
It is
someone
now.
no, it's
The
not
Biden people shut down and said it's Kamala Harris's campaign now.
So they officially said she's the nomination. Like that's official.
No.
No, it's
No.
official that Biden is out and she
I know
is
that.
and she's
Biden-
taking over everything that was his.
Biden didn't have the nomination. That has to come at convention.
Yeah,
And
so-
now we have an open convention for the first time in like
An open convention would be amazing to see.
Yes.
But here's my point
So
with the money. You don't have to use it for yourself. Here's a loophole for that money. They could literally, if they were smart about it, take that money, you super PAC it. You don't support a candidate. You don't make it their campaign. You put all that money into anti-Trump ads. All the new hundreds of millions all the new hundreds of millions that are going to come in goes towards support making their campaign. You put all of that other money that was from Biden non-specific into any particular candidate, go anti-Trump, you could still spend it. That's a total loophole. It doesn't have to be her money used in a campaign. There's ways around that. Is all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but the point is that like her people and her campaign are in control of that money now. Because Biden
She's
stepped
the
down
official
and
nominee.
he transferred the power of all his campaign stuff to her and her people. So she would have to get on board with the idea of using that money for somebody else or in
True.
some other way. And it's supposed to be her money to run.
Yep.
So I don't see her.
Those two, it's for that ticket. It's for either name on that ticket. And
Yeah.
again, loopholes. If there's an open convention and she doesn't get it, and they say we're going to try to pick the strongest candidate we can get. We're not just going to anoint somebody. We're going to say here's a candidate. You could pick. There's a million governors who could do pretty well. You know, who's that guy in Kentucky? There's a freaking blue governor in Kentucky.
You're not going to waste a candidate this election.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You can't, because if there's so many downsides to bring it in, and only Gavin Newsom has a chance, and Michelle Obama is the only surefire winner this cycle, because both of them have the national attention. You would need to fundraise. You would need to do everything possible. That's why they can't bring in a left field governor or something. The Democrats are in a tough spot, and worse, it's the Republicans that have the biggest challenge, I think, right now, because there is a very good chance that Trump has peaked as far as popularity, and peaking in July is not what you want. We have a long race to go. So
there's a
for
lot
the
of
record, I couldn't care less about either candidate. So
yeah,
I come from
either. I hate. I'm going to be honest. I hate both sides. I swear to God, I hate both of them. They're the corporate overlords, and they all work for the same people. Like Ron Paul told us in 2008. Professional wrestling. They get in the freaking match. They get in the ring. They bash the shit out of each other in front of the cameras, and then they go have drinks together and put the same paychecks in their back pocket from the same people. That's how that works, man.
I'm not sure too many Democrats are having drinks with Trump, though.
No, not with
Yeah,
Trump.
I think Trump is outside that system a little bit. And last time he
oil
let that system
company.
control his presidency. The question is if he gets elected again, will he turn to those party establishments to put in those positions of power, or is he going to go for his people? And I think you can already see with his VP pick, he went for somebody who's one of his people.
Oh yeah,
He didn't
Project
go for the
2025
establishment people.
2025 outlines the plan. Absolutely.
So he's gonna, and now that they took a shot at him, I mean, I have a feeling if he gets elected, he's gonna try to do a lot of stuff and be really impactful and really go hard on the stuff he said he's gonna go hard on. So we'll see. I guess the peaking point is interesting. It's kind of funny because he didn't peak on purpose. He peaked because somebody tried to kill him. So
yeah, well, very little is in your control.
Yeah.
And we
Hey guys, I gotta jump
surprise.
off.
DJ, thanks for coming by, man.
Good talking,
Appreciate you,
everybody.
brother.
Good
We'll see you
talking
guys
to you,
around.
DJ. Good to see
Next
you.
time we see you, it's on for an episode, man.
All right, we'll see.
All right, though. Catch you later, brother.
All right, bye.
Yeah, either way, it's going to be a wild ride next couple months here in the United States, man.
Oh,
There's crazy shit going down.
It's unprecedented. Just this year ahead already is unprecedented.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
politically.
yeah. And again, I despise both sides because I see them both as corporate overlords. And it's just Biden wouldn't have been able to win. Like if it was Biden versus Trump, Trump would have crushed him in a landslide. Now that they changed that, there's a chance that that's not the case because there's still a lot of conservative and Republican people like that whole Liz Cheney camp and the Mitt Romneys and shit who don't support him, you know? So it's really everything's up in the air right now, man.
Yeah.
It's a fucking crazy shit going down.
Democrats or Republicans, in my opinion, my humble opinion, because what do I know? But the VP pick was the wrong pick with Kamala's running his opponent. He may have been the right pick for Biden, but now Republicans have a tough card to go against a female candidate.
Oh, you think she's got a better chance because she's female and all that stuff? And
I don't.
I don't not
Nobody likes her,
necessarily
man.
female, but the vice president pick could have rounded out and made Trump look more appealing to
Are you talking Trump's
different
VP
people.
pick? Trump's
What's
VP,
that?
Trump's VP pick?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going extremist on that one there.
Yeah. And so
And to Steve's point, Kamala, I mean, she looks like a freaking, if there are lizard people, she's one of them. Like she's really weird when
Yeah, I mean, Kamala has the same weakness of Gavin in that they're both from California, so they ostracize the middle of the country even more. They have a harder time with those, Pennsylvania, Michigan people because they don't like the people from California. The horror stories come from here, and how does the so-called border czar win this election? With immigration being, if not the top issue, one of the top two, and the other one is the inflation numbers. I mean, and it doesn't look like that's going to get fixed before the election hits. I know they were hoping they could get it lower, but stuff is still ridiculously expensive, and people are getting so angry because inflation isn't hitting any of us at a 7% clip. Fucking groceries are up like 90%. Fast food's up 90%.
People
It's
don't
ridiculous.
get it. That's because they printed more money between 2020 and today than between 1776 and 2020. Like it doesn't matter who's in the White House. That the Federal Reserve caused inflation with insane overprinting. And then any president's policy, it takes 4 years to kick in, at least, so it's like one guy in there for 4 years isn't causing inflation. We looked at when they were printing the shit out.
COVID caused it this last time, and it's because they gave us money, which was cool, but when they gave us money, it messed everything up.
Well, they didn't give us the money. So, all those trillions were going zero interest loans to the freaking huge finance companies like BlackRock.
They gave people money. I got a shitload of money. I got furloughed from my company. The government was giving me $4,000 a month. Between the extra COVID bump and my unemployment while I was on furlough was $4K a month. That was ridiculous.
That covers rent here. But I want to know, I would love to see the numbers of citizens like yourself who got money, all of it, like how much all of it was versus the BlackRocks and companies that were getting 0% billions at 0% interest. I would love to see the comparison there, just how much.
But the difference is what people do with that money. See, when I got helicopter money, I bought shit.
Well, that's the point.
I know, but when BlackRock gets helicopter money, they invest that shit, and so it doesn't cause inflation the way the consumer buying stuff
by buying up the housing market, dude. They fucked the United States by buying up all the freaking rental housing, and keeping it not unrented so they could jack up rents on the property.
Yeah, but that's the kind of the trick, though. You can asset inflate the shit out of stuff and still keep the poor people kind of happy because they can still get a cheeseburger for $1. When that cheeseburger costs $6, they're not happy anymore. They're mad as shit. And they're still, and then their rent goes up at the same time. In California, there's like, we almost couldn't get home insurance this last go around because a shitload of insurance companies just left the state. They said, fuck you guys, because of the wildfires and all the other stuff that has gone on, and they got wrecked out here. Yeah. That went wild. Car insurance out here in California, same thing. A bunch of companies just ditched the hell out of us and said, you guys, good luck. Have fun with your crazy situations. And then everything is just so expensive. It's mind boggling.
What you're saying,
I don't know how anybody who's like, got a decent job, even making like $60K a year, is surviving at all.
That's poverty level. But what you're saying about the cheeseburgers is you look at go look at the McDonald's, look at the Burger Kings. If it was truly due to inflation, they would be raising their prices and their profits would be staying the same, maybe going down, maybe up on a little slope. Those companies are jacking their prices up, screaming inflation. Then they're making 20% more every quarter, over quarter. Yeah. So that's when it becomes price.
Well, yeah, but they could do that before still selling burgers for $1. Now they can't.
No, they weren't doing that before. They weren't doing that before. That's
Hey,
the
gentlemen, I hate to interrupt, but I've got to bounce. I got some
Yeah,
things to do before I call it a night. I appreciate the conversations. Django, it's always good to see you, brother.
Likewise, man. Appreciate you hopping on, Keys.
Yeah, had a
We'll
good
catch
time.
you
Do
soon,
it more
man.
often.
Yes, sir. We will.
Yeah.
Later,
We'll catch you
guys.
later, brother.
Later, Jimmy.
Even though we
Stever.
lied and we didn't battle this time. You want to battle once, Jingles?
Let's do some battles. Let's do a quick round of battles.
Let's do some battles. Let's do some battles. All right.
I was gonna
Yeah.
buy the squirrel, but I can't figure out why I can't transfer DEC in right now. So,
That's
well, I have
frustrating,
enough
man.
in game. I'll figure it out tomorrow. I'll just buy it with what I have.
Well, maybe I'll get to showcase the squirrel on my side here, man. Challenge. Steve, I'll send you one, and then you and Jimmy can play.
I'm gonna find my Splinterlands tab.
Wait, I want to buy the squirrel first. Oh, he got more expensive while we were talking.
How much is he now?
12.
Are they
That still
Azurcons?
feels really cheap, man.
Azurcons?
They're like, they were $11 when I was trying to buy them earlier, but somebody went in and I was talking. They swept the floor because they're like, Steve can't get his money in. Now they're
$12.50. They're $12.50 now.
Yeah.
So someone bought all of Azurcon's $12 summoners. I was looking at them this afternoon. That's a good price, honestly. I think $12.
Yeah, I agree. I'm surprised the cane has fallen to $12.
That's not enough mana for us to try out the squirrel.
Kitchen table game mode for all.
That's right. God damn it. The most basic thing. I can't find my Splinterlands tag. Where the hell did it go?
All right, Stever.
Let's see. I'm rusty as hell, man. I told you I haven't been playing very much. Though this season I was doing a little bit better than the last couple seasons. I can't get out of Diamond 1 right now, though. I keep getting 2 Diamond 1 and then knocked into Diamond 2. 2 Diamond 1, knocked into Diamond 2.
I had a really rough patch yesterday. I think I lost maybe 8 in a row. Operating on.
And also, like, I can tell that work's got me tired because, like, 3 times today I played the wrong card. I meant to pick the weapons training guy, and instead I picked the 8 cost 5 magic attack guy. So I did that one like twice. I was like, man, I really have got to slow down when I'm playing making my death teams. Because when you don't play your weapons trainer, your lineup looks really stupid. And then I messed up one other time when I was trying to get a different card, and I went and I looked, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I was trying to play the same thing, weapons trainer card, but the 7 cost life one. I mean the 7 cost water one, and I played the guy with resurrection instead. Oh yeah, I probably should have put a chaos agent in front, huh?
Well, this is exactly what we were talking about. It's not silent summoners, but yeah, access to the 2 elements is huge.
Yeah, I think you're gonna stomp me to death pretty hard here, but we'll see what happens. The only advantage I have maybe is I have some life leech and some scavenge. Maybe my HP gets up high enough.
Well, wow, Chaos Agent didn't do me a whole lot of good. Everybody
not that
touched
first
him.
round, but you're still ahead a bit. But you have that stupid magic reflection coming. It's gonna not be good for me.
Do you have an amplifier
for some
there?
misses.
No amplifier.
No amplifier.
Oh yeah, you got the scavenge just start stacking shit up there. Look at that.
Well, you still got the Conjurer to get past, and he's a boss. We all know how good the Conjurer can be. There we go.
There's miss 1.
Yes.
Well, at least I got rid of his redemption. I need to land a poison on him early with
Hey, you do.
with the death card. Because he should be able to hit. There it
Oh, the
is.
poison.
It is, yeah.
Because he's actually not that slow. Damn, that 3 though, that 3 magic attack is big.
That's brutal. Oh, you have a max gold foil, Sturgis, you bastard. I don't have a single one. Are we still recording right now? Can I say
Yeah, I pulled him early, man. And for a long time I didn't even touch him.
don't have
But
a
You got the
single
poison.
gold
And
foil
I didn't that time with Blight. I don't think Blight can hero this. I think it's not
Holy
gonna work.
shit. Bam.
Nah, he's got too many big hitters. Sturgis was a good play there because he has that big 3
3.
magic attack.
And health equalizer. He's got the low health and normal battles at HEQ is just bam.
Yeah, I kind of went for life leech and scavenge guys and 2 poison people so I could land poisons. It just didn't work out. Oops. Let me go ahead and skip this. And then you wanted me to play Jimmy so I could lose twice?
Do it. You'll beat me though. Are you playing modern or wild?
I only have modern cards. My wild stuff is all staked.
All right, you're gonna crush me in modern.
Oh. Do you want what do you want to play in?
Do it. Do modern.
How the hell do you do? Oh, there it is. Challenge.
yeah, that's something else. Why is
I mean,
it hidden? I don't
do you
understand
want
why,
gold?
though.
I mean, what
Max
do you
level.
want
Good.
diamond?
Yeah, let's go
Okay.
max.
What's your in game again? Is it just
Fat Jimmy.
it just is Fat Jimmy? Okay.
Fat Jimmy.
I don't think I run into you very much anymore.
No, because I'm usually in wild and Hyde's been slacking on the modern plan.
Ah. Did that come through?
Not quite yet. Let's see. I'm gonna reload.
Jimmy, did you get the squirrel?
Not yet. I was
Not
looking
yet.
at today. I was looking at it. Saw the $12 Azurcons, but if they're gone, I'm probably gonna jump in tonight. I got 5 in the airdrop. Okay, there's your challenge. I got 5 in the airdrop, so I got to buy 6 of them.
The flying is a pain in the ass, man. We don't have a whole lot of flying monsters, but I'd forgotten what a flying and blind can do to a team. I ran into somebody
Dude,
playing,
that's huge. Yeah.
yeah, playing the squirrel yesterday, and you've got a flying forgotten one playing tank. I couldn't touch the guy. I couldn't touch the guy.
What mode did I do that is allowing untamed?
Little league.
Did you accidentally click all cards?
I think I did. That's funny.
Oh yeah, I guess we did. Little league though makes it tough. All right, little league reverse speed.
Well, try your best for modern only there.
Health equalizer. All right, let's see what we got. I'm gonna go crazy here. Let's see.
Whoever finishes first, you can share your screen. You guys got access. Or shoot me the battle. Either way.
Ooh, I'm gonna change that shit. Changing last minute.
Did you get another equalizer match? Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah.
No, we got Little League. Oh my gosh, I totally ignored one of the rule sets.
Oh!
I doubt I'm gonna be okay here, but maybe my guys. I'm
I'm
trying to figure out, were they fast or slow? I don't remember. I think some of them are. I think they're in the middle of the road, so I might be okay.
Let me try this guy. Ooh, I don't know if I like that.
I'm still waiting, but I can share once
I'm almost there. Lost
once
legend.
he's done.
Well, hopefully we get at least one battle that's okay for the squirrel to show off.
Jimmy's got 30 seconds before he's going to surrender, so
Yeah, which might happen. All right, here we go. I just hit battle.
Okay. Oh, look at that! I wasn't expecting to see Cerberus here. Oh, you went with some fast cards too. You went really fast.
Oh
Did
yeah,
you miss that? Did you miss that rule set too?
I totally did. I missed
we
reverse
we
speed.
we both ignored that it's reverse speed.
I actually went with a summoner that does the exact opposite of reverse speed.
You know what's funny though? I wonder if this is gonna work. This is interesting. I haven't seen a lot of these cards in a long time.
No, I'm gonna get crushed because of the reverse speed thing. Once those hit in rage,
They're not gonna. You're gonna go very last.
oh yeah, it's gonna be brutal. All right, where do we go here? I can't find the screen. There it is.
Yeah, you probably don't want to see this.
Where the hell do we go? Where's the zoom? My zoom disappeared.
Should be working now. You guys see me? Hear me?
Hold on.
We've
it
got
didn't
Oh, there
work,
it is.
Jimmy.
All right. I missed it. Oh, I missed it.
Do you want to see it? Because I could replay it, but it
Yeah,
wasn't
replay
pretty.
it, man. I knew as soon as I saw that reverse speed, I was like, oh, that's it.
Oh
Ignored it.
no. Enraged in reverse speed.
It was the stupidest thing ever.
You did get a retaliate, but other than that, not much of your
Oh
team
yeah, I'm
got
not even
to
gonna
attack.
get to go, dude. Look at that. Not even going.
Oh,
Enraged.
well,
in reverse speed. There
you
we
did
go.
show off some pretty sweet wild cards there, though, Jimmy.
See, if that wasn't reverse speed, that would have been a hell of a battle.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
I think you probably would have won if it wasn't reverse speed. That's for sure.
Maybe. But it was reverse speed. There's where it matters.
Well, you both ignored a rule set.
It's funny because I
Steve here, I'll
mentioned I
send you another
reviewed
one.
it. That I Okay, here, let me stop sharing for a sec.
We
see.
got a typhoon coming through, and I wasn't expecting the weather to turn south until a little bit later, but yeah, that's got to be what's pointing to the internet issues, I would guess.
Ooh, typhoon coming. Yeah. Typhoon for Bojangles.
Yeah.
Typhoon party, yeah. Nice.
Oh,
Hey
another
guys, I just
equalizer
got word
match.
my wife has dinner ready for me. So I'm gonna go upstairs and eat.
Right on, Jimmy. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you guys. Good hanging, good talking with you, Stever.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see you. Good to talk.
Absolutely. All right, well, you guys have a good night. We'll talk to you all soon.
All right, brother.
All
Hey,
right.
keep a lookout for that proposal to drop soon there, Jimmy.
Oh yeah, I'll check that out. I'll talk to you in a bit.
All right, brother.
Sent some
Later, man.
DEC through too. Hopefully it came through. I got the old delay and the
Oh,
blockchain
cool.
processing delay. And I found out like half the times your shit doesn't go through with that. It says delay
That's so
and it
obnoxious.
never happens. Yeah. So let me know if you get that.
Yeah, I'll take a look as soon as we wrap up here.
I mean, 10 DEC is 10 DEC, right?
Oh. Yes, it is.
Right on.
Hmm.
All right,
All right, brother.
guys.
Later, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
All right, Steve, throwing a curveball your way, man.
Sorry. I was trying
That's all right.
something and then I decided I'm like, no, I don't want to try that, so I'm doing something else.
Well, you still got time. That's all good.
All right. Let's see if it works.
Oh, you did get your DEC. All right.
Well, I had enough in game to buy them. I just I wanted to buy replacement DEC and send it in, but then I bought them so we could try them out. So, I got to use this tactics. Shit, what are these? Again.
True Strike, and slower speed, and then taunt and redemption. Yeah, I'm curious what you pick here. We both went squirrel. I wonder if we have the same idea in mind. Squirrel v squirrel. All right, let's see here. Well, if it's just okay, so what did you choose, Steve? Oh, True Strike. Okay.
Yeah, I gave True Strike to my little Malay guy because I didn't want him to miss. And I knew he was going to be kind of slow compared to certain people. And then I also gave True Strike to my magic user because you happen to be using a guy in the front row who can dodge magic. So now none of my attackers can miss. And I have just enough damage to where I should take him out first round.
Well, I taunted your nymph
Oh, where'd you taunt it to?
to your Blackmore nymph.
Oh, you're making people shoot my nymph.
Yeah. So
Do
I
you have
gave
enough
her
speed
taunt.
to kill her before she can attack? I don't think
I
you
don't think
can. I
so.
think she'll still get one attack off. But I could see why you would do that. You're going to take away one of my attackers, but I don't know. I can't tell what's going to happen. After that, I do have more HP on the board because you didn't play a seventh monster. But I have
Well,
less attackers.
it's equalizer. It is equalizer.
I know, but I mean, I have one more character than you.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So I think that usually wins the battle in equalizer, but this is going to be interesting. But you also gave
All right,
her
let's see.
redemption, though, huh?
Yeah.
You do have that blast attack. She's going to get her attack off, though, because she's magic. Then she's going to die. Now she's going to redemption everybody. And then, see, I made it so he couldn't miss. He won't miss because everyone flies. Come
Yeah,
on.
I might be
Yeah,
in
get a
trouble. Oh, I
dodge.
might be in trouble. I need to take
Dodge,
out
dodge,
the.
dodge.
Oh,
Yeah.
that might be the difference maker. You have too much health.
That was a good hit, though. But yeah, right there, you're going to take earthquake damage now. So
Yeah, it's
she's
ball
going to
game.
die. And that's game. Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
the taunt on the other team is interesting, but I'm not so sure that it's usually the best move. I mean, I think I think maybe you're forgetting a little bit how good True Strike is.
Yeah, I think I've maybe played 2 or 3 battles with the squirrel, and most of the time it's been True Strike. Are you cool to do a couple more?
Yeah, we could do a couple more battles.
All right, let's see if we can get some more squirrel in there. Maybe the taunt. I feel like that's it's a good play. Maybe equalizer is not the time to be screwing around
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
taunt.
I think equalizer maybe is the wrong time, and I also think in equalizer, if you don't play the same amount of characters as the other team, it tends to not be great for you.
All right, so gladiators, no armor, and rebirth.
No green though, if we want to use the squirrel, so you'd have to use the other stuff. Um,
Hmm.
Oh, you busted out Cryptic there.
I love Cryptic, man. He is so much fun.
I did want to see some Cryptic lineups that work well, so let's see if this works better. I tried to maybe I kind of tried to pigeonhole in the squirrel here, but it is going to help me do one thing that I think will be kind of beneficial.
Did you go True Strike again?
No, this time I'm taunting on your gladiator. So I'm going to hope that
Ooh.
I can take him out with my ambush attacks. So
Hopefully blind makes some misses. There's one. Oh, come on.
oh, I halved him.
I am
Oh, but
a
then
lot faster. Oh, there's the flying. Oh, I forgot to share the screen.
that's okay. I just started watching it on my screen. I'm a little behind you, but
I'll start it over. I'll
oh
start it
yeah,
over.
your
we go.
speed is a no, it's I don't need to
Oh
see
no,
it again.
hold on. No spoilies. Is that
Oh, I
good?
finally got him. Oh, but then he came back. You had a resurrect? Oh no, everyone has a
No, it's
resurrect.
rebirth, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that wasn't great. Maybe giving somebody redemption on a rebirth game is not smart.
I feel like there is a lot of use for the taunt though.
Yeah, I decided to give it a shot, but it didn't work out very well because I'm actually kind of surprised my guys missed so many of those attacks, but
Well, I am a lot faster and I've got the blinds built in. I can't
you
touch
weren't
my
you weren't that much faster than my archer. You were faster than the guy that hit you by a lot. That's what made it so weird. The guy with 4
yeah.
speed misses, the guy with 2 speed hit. So the guy with 2 speed hit a lot, in fact. Maybe the play more would have been to true strike the characters that could do damage to I don't know. There wasn't really a way my lineup could have beat your lineup. Looking at it, I mean you had cleansing heals and you had back row triages. There was no way that lineup was going to work. So
Maybe
yeah, I
taking out
tried to
the soothsayer might have
yeah,
been the
maybe
difference
targeting the
maker.
soothsayer might have, but the yeah, I don't know. It would have been interesting.
Yeah, have you
I
still
but
not
I
experimented a
don't
lot
I
with cryptic?
no, I tried to use them earlier today and I lost pretty bad on a game I thought I was going to win, so that made me kind of sad.
Well, we don't want a
So
sad Stever.
yeah,
We'll
well,
see if
like
we can get a couple more in with the
I
squirrel.
thought that like I ran into a Grim Barduna and I was like, perfect. I played Cryptic. I'll take away his immunity and we'll be fine. And that team still just smoked the shit out of me. So
Man, we
I was like,
cannot
oh,
get ideal matches for the squirrel. It's so frustrating, man.
let's see here. Interesting.
Armored up, weak magic, no ranged. Armored up, weak magic, no ranged. Huh. Do you still get the feeling that there's battle helpers and bots in modern?
Yeah, but I'm probably always gonna feel that way until we get what do you call it? Until we start to see Like I
Let's
haven't
skip
seen
in.
anybody complaining about bots yet. And so if no one's complaining about bots, I don't see it as a big issue. Oh, interesting. You're gonna try to ambush me, huh?
I'm gonna try and run right through here. You'll see. That platoon is gonna be tough. Oh, that poison first round doesn't help. Well,
I didn't get it second round though, so I could have used it on your if I would have got it on that back
Venka.
row, I probably would have won me the match for sure. Now I'm not so sure. Oh, that miss.
Two misses.
I needed him to land the hit. Yeah, the Dr. Blight miss doesn't surprise me. But now Ventka's just gonna roll right over my team. Oh, got a poison. That's
I
interesting.
could miss the yeah.
No.
Yep.
I'm not that lucky. You're not gonna miss that.
Venka is so strong, man.
That's interesting. So on only 19 mana, you went for a Ventka deck. And you know, to be honest, I would have thought my team would have been actually a decent ploy to beat the Ventka deck. I think the one mistake
if you had hit that poison with Uraeus, would have been a different story.
Yeah, I think the one mistake I made was I probably should have swapped where the Nimbrook was with the Uraeus and allowed him to do a few more sneak attacks in that game before going front row where he didn't accomplish anything because he missed the and that was kind of an annoying miss because we were equal speed, and so you only have that 15% chance and you hit it.
Well, that's the Chaos Agent for you. He is a giant pain in the ass.
I know Dodge is I don't know. I feel very unlucky with Dodge a lot.
Let's see one more. All right, here we go. This is a good
39
squirrel matchup.
No mana, huh? No mages. So no mages. And you're gonna run the squirrel because both teams are available, huh? Okay, I'll try to run the squirrel. Let's see. What's a good squirrel idea? So your team flies. Okay, well, green without magic takes away a lot of their interesting cards.
Let's see here. Man, I have so much fun with tactics, dude. I feel like tactics was such a good move to bring to the game. We haven't heard anything about tournaments and brawls getting updated to support tactics though, which is a little disappointing.
Yeah, it is. Like tactics have been pretty cool, but like one of the things that's a little frustrating with everything right now is it feels like a lot of time has gone by and they haven't brought in the other part of tactics that we're supposed to be getting, which is the armor and the spell cards to the game yet. And it's because they don't have time to work on land. You know, we didn't really talk about it much, but and it seems kind of like a moot point at this point. But how do you feel like, do you feel really strongly that we should be hiring JP's team? Because I kind of don't, even though it seems like
I
it'll
don't
pass.
know. Did you submit your team, Steve?
Yeah, I did. I'm waiting. It says on my screen.
Oh, um, I
I
can't
did my
see
tactics and
my.
everything.
Oh, it didn't give me a chance to submit my tactics. Bummer.
That's gonna be unfair too, because you would have used True Strike probably. Because I
Bummer.
went for the whole dodge, blind, flying, taunter with some speed. With it, not, I didn't really push it as hard as you can, but I pushed it kind of hard. So if you would have made sure your Venka hit, and made sure your well, your little guy's got snare, so that might work. Interesting that you're on a waiting screen though.
Yeah, I
What are
don't know
you
what's
waiting
going
for
on
at this
here.
point?
Oh, there it goes. Oh yeah, I'm in trouble.
Well, you do have True Strike on two of your characters, kind of, because I'm flying, so the little
Plus Mantaroth.
yeah, Montarath is True Strike, and your flying guy. So I don't know, but I also did decide to just take Venka out. I taunted him.
And she's not going to get a chance to swing, I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that. I figured in this scenario, most of my guys have armor, so that wasn't going to matter that much.
Oh,
You do get that snare on him. Here, you're going to, with having the splash damage, though, works against you a little bit, maybe.
I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Bummer, man. Why didn't I get to choose my tactics?
Yeah, if you would have got to choose your tactics, that would have been different. Sorry, your game is a little bit weird. I don't know what you would have done, though. What would have you done
Yeah.
theoretically, though? Because I would, with me being able to taunt your Venka, it was never going to get to attack. I guess if you were like super meta, you could have taunted your front row character so that your Venka got to attack.
So yeah, but I wouldn't have seen what you had done. Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
think
because
there
like
was any way around that.
like
You were too
like
fast.
yeah, instinctively, I would have thought you would do something like True Strike, Venka, and the Poison Archer, so that they don't miss. And then you have a pretty good team for hitting my front row character. But then, even if you had done that, Venka would have died before it got to attack. So the only way to prevent that, realistically, was to taunt. It was to put your taunt on Manaroth, maybe, or the front row character, but I don't know. Do you think you would have done that looking at this?
Probably. I mean, without seeing that you taunted Vanka, I don't think. I mean, maybe I would be able to guess that you choose to taunt Vanka, and then I could select to taunt the Myrmidon, but yeah, you throwing the lurker out there changes everything, I think. The lurker is man, that's great with flying and dodge and phase.
Yeah, I was thinking that the fact that the lurker is kind of broken, and now you can make him fly, because we finally got a summoner in the game that adds flying to characters. So now you got some of those characters that you can make fly that you could never make fly before. Same thing with the flying chaos agent. It's just another 15% to that miss, and then with the
What a pain in
flying,
the ass. Yeah, broken card.
With flying, blind, and dodge, you're already at what, 45%? Or is it
Untouchable.
55?
That's before speed.
Yeah, that's before
25 for blind, 15 for dodge, 15 for flying.
Yeah, so you're
55.
at 55. You're at 55%
Before
just by
speed
playing
difference.
those things, and then if you could put speed damage differences in there, you could be up at like 75% really easily. So this card is going to make that even more relevant. And the crazy thing about it is that it's got an answer to that problem in the summoner that causes that problem, which is kind of funny, right? Because you can make these flying guys you
The
can't
snare.
hit, but then you're also the summoner with True Strike. So if somebody does speed
Plus the
against
snare.
you,
With Tofu. Tofu is going to be an
Yeah.
interesting card to
ugh,
counter the
All right.
squirrel.
here's one of those annoying matches.
We played this exact match like 3 times already, man. There you go. All right.
Yeah, they seem to like these matches. It's relatively not very cool that this does seem to be something that they enjoy. I don't know. To me, it just feels like the game picks this more than it should.
Yeah, 100%. Especially when we're doing challenges. Like, man, we gotta get the kitchen table game mode, dude, where we can customize all this stuff. It seems so silly that we can't. Okay, well, no tactics to choose from here, so
Ah, you went the sneak route. Interesting.
I love this card, dude. This has slowly become one of my favorite gladiator. He is such a beast.
Yeah, I went with her for the poison and for the three
So
3
she'll be
damage.
targeting my scout.
No, she's not a sniper, right? She's just
Oh, she's not a sniper. Yeah. You're right.
no. So all my damage is going after the chaos agent. The question is, can they hit? But you have, I mean, that's a lot. You got him up at 4 damage, huh?
5.
And it's going to be interesting to see who wins that speed check, because you could bloodlust or you might not. But the one shitty thing, oh, my archer. No, wait,
Well,
I'm
he'll
going to slow you
bloodlust
down.
second round. He'll bloodlust second round
Well, let's
for
see how much
sure.
I can get through by then. I am going to at least slow you because you don't have a speed modification on your side, but you do have a blind. So that maybe is good
Oh.
enough. He went first there. I was wondering if he would go first or second on that attack. And blight missed. That's not good. Well,
Bloodlust, but
she-
it's not going to matter.
Wow, he bloodlusted again. Oh, and the 2 speed couldn't miss. Maybe he'll miss this time. Man, he bloodlusted again.
The True Strike is so good, man.
Oh, did you put your wait? Who had True Strike?
No, he's got
Oh,
True Strike.
no, I wasn't talking about him missing. I was talking about the
Oh, this guy, the
little
soldier.
fiend. No, the fiend up in the
Oh,
front.
the
He was
fiend.
attacking. He couldn't. My chaos agent couldn't dodge an attack. I didn't realize he had True Strike though. That's interesting. Yeah,
He is a monster for 2 mana. A lot of the Gladius cards really take it up a notch at the top level. They did.
I wonder
they
what
did
level do I have him at?
Let's see if we
I
can get
don't
one
remember.
more squirrel match before calling it.
Oh yeah, but what the thing I was going to say about like the thing I didn't like when I heard from the SBS town hall about JP was that it made it seem like they were still going to be working on Splinterlands stuff. And if you're going to pay a team to complete the SBS chain on
It
their
should be
own,
dedicated.
it should be dedicated to the SBS chain. They shouldn't be working on it, even if it's like an 80-20 thing, unless like I didn't like that. I didn't understand that comment that he's like, yeah, we got these guys and they all work for Splinterlands. Like he didn't say they used to work.
We got
They said they
PJ
all
coming on
work
Thursday.
for Splinterlands.
We got
So-
PJ coming in on Thursday. That will definitely be a question.
Yeah, because that's the one thing that I just can't figure out because. Okay, so what do I do here?
Hmm. Are there any stuns in neutral?
I don't think so.
One. The big magic guy.
Oh yeah, the big magic dude. That's a lot of mana though
Yeah.
for this. And there's not that many mages to even weaken. I guess there is the guy that can make people mages though. So
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, tell me when you submit so I can see if I've got the tactics
yeah,
available.
I submitted.
Okay,
I
cool.
didn't go with a tactics summoner, so I'm waiting at this point. Oh, you went with cryptic again, huh? For the blind, maybe?
And get rid of that
Blind and the
force field.
speed? Oh yeah, yeah. So who do you put it on then? You'd have to put it on Venka's your first attacker, so I'll at least get one force field hit.
Yeah, put it
Block.
on Venka and Blight. It might not matter if your scatter shots go to plan.
That one was okay.
And there goes
Okay, so the
force
force
field.
field's gone, but we did at least block a attack. Okay, that wasn't great.
And Chaos Agent is the star today, man.
Yeah, do you notice how yours dodges and mine doesn't?
Well, I've also played a lot of blinds. Come on, Venka.
Oh, mine was flying. Oh man, that sucked. Yeah, I don't think
Cryptic is such a monster, man.
I don't think I can come back from that. I think that is
Nope.
game, sir.
Yeah, Cryptic is just silly.
Yeah, I didn't think about cryptic there, mostly because I haven't learned how to use cryptic. So I did not think of
That
of
expose is such a game changer, man.
yeah, because I played the force field because I saw Venka coming, but I didn't see Venka coming with the ability to remove the force field. So if you couldn't remove the force field, it would have took you a couple more turns to get past the salty
I
bear.
I think I would lose in that case because you've got the only way I could get past is if you didn't play the reflection shield here.
Yeah, but
And
then
I could blast with full damage behind the bear. But yeah, Yasik, you'd be going first every turn,
it's funny
distributing blast across the back line.
how big that attack on the chaos agent, not only targeting the chaos agent but missing, affected that game. Because if that attack would have been on Venka would have died before doing the second attack. Because I'm assuming that we hit there. At least we would have had a better chance. Because I've already got you down to 5.
Yeah,
Well,
right
no,
there.
yeah, right there. Because this next hit worked. So, or was there one more that hurt him? Or was he at 4 when he killed him? No, yeah, see there.
That one would have killed Venka. Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, there's the same luck put those other attacks on the people next to Venka. So but there was definitely Dr. Blight getting that miss. And it wasn't like a huge miss percentage chance either. It was blind and dodge and 1 speed. So what is that? 45 or 55?
25,
Or 50.
40.
Okay, so it's a coin flip. Coin flip. Right? Because he was also 1 speed. Is what speed is 10 or is it 5?
Is it
Thought it
10?
was
I think it's 10.
Yeah, I think it
so
was
that'd
10.
be 50%.
All right. Well, yeah, that's a pretty good chance to dodge. But the more of the fact was just the luck that I decided to attack him. It's like,
Also true.
couldn't I just not attack that stupid guy?
Oh, if you had hit the Zenith Archer, it would have been or Blight or Venka. It would have been a
Yeah.
completely different match. Yeah. All right, let's do one more and then call it. Oh, and we don't have the squirrel at all.
So this is interesting. All right.
Let's see here. Close range, Fury, no melee. Close range, Fury, no melee.
Oh.
Ah, look at you. All right.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's some scatter shotters on both teams, so there's going to be some luck involved in this situation. I played a card that I didn't really like, but I went ahead to give it a shot, and we'll see if it bites me in the ass.
The Raw?
Because he misses so much. So, I mean, you didn't play a speed buff, but you did play a blind, and his speed is already lower than everybody else's. So, if he misses a ton, I'm going to be toast. But we'll see
The
if it's
Rust
harder for
might
you
be
to.
I mean, because you're bringing 369 magic damage that's going to immediately get through the shields. There will be some reflected. I didn't bring an amplify.
Yeah, if you brought an amplify, I might be in trouble because my healer would kill herself extremely fast. But that's also where, like, both of us have a little bit of luck that's going to come in here. And where do those scatter shots go? I have 2 on my side, three attacks a turn. You have like a big one. If she pops off and hits my healer and kills her round 1, that like wins you the game. So
Yeah, but this Ra could do the same thing with the giant killer here. Where did you stick the cryptic abilities?
I put 1 on Grim because I wanted it for the front position, and then I put 1 on the faster scatter shot because she should hit more often. I was too afraid of Ra missing. You know. Also, it basically came down to that. When I saw your team, I'm like, I didn't think Ra was going to hit that often, so I went ahead and did that.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably the wise call.
And gave it to her because I figured she should at least hit people. I guess I do have a chance of her or Ra hitting Blight and taking him out first round. So that's what I got to be hoping for, is that we pop Blight and you don't pop my healer. That's the
I
first
hope you
round
hit my
hope.
force fields.
Well, Ra doesn't mind the force field, but the nymph does. So
Yeah.
I hope the nymph just hits Grim Bardoon and
Oh,
that was an okay
that's a
move.
big one. And the miss. There it is. Oh.
Well, he got 1 hit, so it's like he didn't have a double attack. You got a poison though on Grim. That's annoying. I got a poison on you too, though. Oh, Grim's dead. That might be rough. Well, he's dead. No, okay. Oh, I got a poison there. Oh, you got a poison there. Oh, you took her out. That's not good. Come on, do something raw. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
At least he hit her, I guess. I don't know though. I think
getting your healer to the front might be the difference maker here.
Yeah, because you're gonna smoke him. with that big attack.
Yeah, so you're down to just raw to
Oh, and
deliver
then you
the-
got the poison too. Psh. I mean, he's gonna die now. If you hadn't landed the poison, no, there wasn't really anything there.
Yeah,
'Cause there just
Cryptic is
wasn't-
awesome, man. Oh, I forgot it's close range.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why. But like once again, like the one problem with my lineup is I probably should have saw you playing Cryptic, and I shouldn't have put Grimbardoon in the front. Like those first three monsters were the problem, because not only were they totally negated by you playing Cryptic, they were also very low mana, so they were outclassed by cards like your Genoshanis and your Bark guy. How do you say his name again? What's his name?
Which one?
Bark
Oh, this guy.
Shakur?
Barash Shakur, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Barashakor.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
he-
love Cryptic for bringing, you almost never saw the Jin Murat as like a key tank, but now he's so good with Cryptic. And
Because you
then
can give him a healer.
Oceanus. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus the giant killer is awesome if you're thinking, maybe you're getting a big Archimist play or a Mantaroth play.
Yeah, I'll have
Uh,
to start trying him out a little bit more in ranked, because you're showing me some interesting things. You take some of the good tanks for death, and you give them this cleanse healer in the background, and then you just kind of, depending on the rule set, fill in the other guys around them. So
Yeah.
I'll have to try that out a little bit in ranked and see how it does.
I was considering instead of these three, I was considering the what's the soulbound weapons trainer magic guy
No, he's on my
for
team.
death.
The
No, the death.
Oh,
the
for
death one.
death.
Duskblight.
Yeah,
Stoke.
Duskblight.
Yeah, I was considering him with the Will-O-Wisp and maybe a Riftwing in the back or something for the silence and the fast speed from the Will-O-Wisp and
I don't
the
know.
Resurrect.
I think that this was the better play.
Yeah, might have been.
It ended up being the better play, because if you would have done that, you would have had less big hitters as far as damage wise, because you would have took away 2 5s for 3s.
Yeah,
And then
the thinking there
only...
was the Resurrect for the Jin and get
Yeah,
more.
but
I was expecting magic.
Yeah. Since I used archery, I mean, you would have still had the chance maybe that Ra misses Riftwing a shitload and kills himself. Oh, you're gonna send me another one since we're talking?
Yeah, last one. Let's see if we could get a good squirrel match. Oh,
I mean, you
interesting.
could use them here. I don't know. Let's see
Opportunity
here.
rule set. It might be yeah, it might be an interesting one to break out the squirrel.
I'm gonna try
Corrosive
something more
ward and
regular.
return fire.
Let's see if you can beat the squirrel with a lineup.
Are you playing the squirrel?
No. I mean, I want to see if you're going to use them. I want to see if you can beat the lineup I would normally kind of play in this kind of a scenario.
I mean, I can try and force the squirrel. Let's see here.
Oh, well, I thought you were saying that the squirrel was a good play. If you don't think
Yeah, I
it's
wasn't-
good, then I guess
I wasn't
guess you
reaching for the
could.
squirrel. I was reaching for something else. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna play the better team.
Yeah, that's
Let's see
fine.
here.
I didn't think squirrel was that great either. So I'm like, well, let me see if squirrel can beat like a typical team I would play right here. Or not.
On second thought. Let's see if I can do the squirrel here. Let's see.
I do see a squirrel play against my team that could work. But you'd have to build it in a way that I don't think you would. I think the problem with the squirrel here is the return fire, right? Because his other ability is +1 for archery. And if you bring those archers in, they're going to be taking shots returning at him.
Yeah. I'm gonna ignore it. Let's try it. Let's see if I can just get zoom past the return fire here.
I definitely see so you could definitely do something to annoy me a little bit. This is interesting though, because it's a well, unless you plan on putting a taunt on Grim Bardoon, I suppose. Is that what you're doing? Or did?
No, I gave my Raider True Strike.
Oh, okay. So Raider can't miss.
Yeah, so he's dropping 14 damage per turn. Plus cripple plus shatter.
Yeah,
Before
I
the
don't because of the mana, I mean I didn't end up going the man, but your guys like melting your armor there is kind of interesting
also true. Yeah.
because she's gonna melt her own armor, which is gonna make her more susceptible at least. I'm not gonna have to go through it. See there, yeah, it's all gone. And then I get my martyr. Oh wow, I missed. I wasn't seeing that. 60 did you blind me? How did I miss that attack?
Flying.
Oh, you have the armor repair though. Interesting. But I'm not blind anymore. Is it because I killed the guy? Is that why I'm not blind?
No, you're not. I did have blind with the fungus flinger, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you just don't have blind anymore.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get through just
Oh, that was big. Getting that poison and getting
yeah.
rid of her right away. I mean, she does hit pretty hard though, but can my back row get rid of her? I don't know. I mean, Blight would eventually here. And she's gonna turn herself into Blight's target right now.
Yep.
He didn't get a poison though, so
Yeah, that's over. Inevitable is so good, man. Nice.
yeah, I'm gonna win on fatigue, but just barely.
I don't have
Oh
any
no,
more
wait.
armor. You're
Actually,
gonna
you wait. You don't.
it's not
I
gonna go to
forgot the
fatigue.
armor's gonna go away, so it's not gonna go to fatigue.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, inevitable is just so hard to kill with anything other than magic.
Yep.
When he has that self heal and he's able to repair his own armor, even though the armor was going away here, it stayed long enough. So, and then I went with the kind of the classic. I'm gonna make you attack here. I'm gonna, put the Dr. Blight on there so that inevitable shouldn't end up alone because he has the
Yeah.
camouflage. One of the things I thought would have been interesting is if you taunted my Dr. Blight, and killed him off.
And I wish that Xbot Battle Vision would let you like retool the tactics, and then you could see what that looks like. So what I was originally going to do before I decided to try and force the squirrel in there was the core play. Core opportunity that's really tough to beat.
With who in the front?
Probably
like a
still
similar
Grim.
lineup, you would have done
Grim.
like
Yeah.
with Grim in front and
Yep.
Cora in the back. Would have been interesting. Your Cora has immunity, so Blight wouldn't have been able to poison her, stop her self healing. What if she got big enough to out
Take out
damage inevitable? It would
Well,
kind
she
of
would have
depend on
taken
those.
out 1, 2, 3, 4. So she sits at what is her starting magic? 3, 2. So she might have been at either 5 or 6 magic damage.
Yeah, if she was at 5 or 6, then she would have been able to kill him. because he
Yeah.
only self heals for I think 5.
Yeah.
And so if she's able to overdo his self heal, because he's not going to overdo her self heal. So as long as she takes out most of the back row, and especially if you did the same play and gave her True Strike, so that she didn't miss
Yeah.
anybody. Yeah, that might have worked. Or if you had Cora on the board instead of the Drybone Raider.
Well, I couldn't have given her True Strike because I would have been playing the Summoner, Lowlands.
Oh, but you could have played Cora here with this team, right? You had
No,
green.
yeah, but I couldn't have given her True Strike because I would have had to play the Gladius Summoner.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
my bad. What am
Yeah.
I thinking? You can't
Yeah,
just
well,
play
it-
Cora.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So then if you couldn't give her True Strike, the one chance I would have had. No, but she has good magic damage.
Vol'gin is such a great opportunity play.
Yeah, like I was trying to think if the Vol'gin might be a problem for her, but probably not. The one thing I probably should have mixed into this team if I had it, though I don't know if I could have, it was some kind of rust play. But I don't think it was there. Because I didn't really think about the core play of you giving the armor. That would have been so much more of a problem for me if it wasn't for the fact that you literally played archery into archery reflect. Even with your big opportunity play, you had archery. And I kind of understood why, because you were going to make her huge, but it just didn't work because I went with a very survivable card. So she was going to
It
kill
would
herself.
have been a different story if you had gotten through Grim. If Grim was the target, and that was kind of the thinking, is that Grim would be the target before Drybone Raider took enough damage to become the opportunity target. But
Yeah,
inevitable.
but
He's just tanky. He's not killing people. He's just surviving.
yeah. And
All right.
I even
Well,
played this a little.
you want to wrap it there? Or you want to try one more?
No, yeah, we could wrap it there. It's getting kind of late. I got to go get ready for bed and stuff. So
Cool.
it was fun
Well,
talking. Thanks for inviting
conversation,
me.
man. Yeah, dude. I'm
Yeah.
glad you could make it, man. It's been a while since we've had a good hangout, dude. So appreciate you hopping on, dude.
Yep, for sure. And
Cool.
hopefully,
Yo, and seriously, man,
yeah.
you should consider looking at that proposal for the ETH stuff.
Yeah. Definitely, I would think we can make that proposal. I would just hope a couple other people would donate some DEC and give me an idea about it, because it makes kind of sense to do something with our ETH to stake it. Because I mean, it's a staking coin, right? That it's a staking chain. Why aren't we staking it?
100%,
So-
man. I'm with you. We should. I mean,
And,
3% is better than
and, like,
0%.
I don't know. Like, USDC is interesting because you can make about 6 or 7% on that a lot of places. And we have some USDC, but we're about to spend $500,000, and that's why I imagine that the USDC is all going to go, or most of it.
Yeah, I don't remember what the payment plan was
It's
for
it's
the
up to the
JPTR.
DAO. It's up to the DAO managers and the key holders. I think they said to figure out what
It's the treasury
crypto
decision.
yeah. So
I
I
feel like
think that might.
that's a little bit too much responsibility, I think, for the treasury. I think the DAO should vote for what tokens are being spent.
Yeah, but the way it's written, it already says that. And I was
It's
going to
up to
vote
the
no on it,
treasury.
but like I'm looking at it, and it has like overwhelming support from the whales. So I don't realistically see a way to derail that money being sent, and it's gonna. I mean, it makes sense. It's just what big. I mean, I'm guessing because of what they have, they're gonna have to sell some ETH. But at least
Probably.
I think ETH's about to go down, so maybe it's not the worst time to sell some of it. Though they only have to pay monthly, right?
It is monthly, 40K.
Yeah, so they have enough USDC to cover the first couple months.
Well,
And
maybe
then they'll
that's
have to
the
start.
play.
And then with the way the world is, I think the play is to sell some ETH, but hopefully within 2 months the Bitcoin ETF has dealt with the sell off and started to go back up, and then our Ethereum is worth enough to where we don't have to sell as much to fund this. But I mean, I couldn't imagine seeing them sell.
The ETH ETF is shaking out right now too.
It goes live tomorrow, from what I understand.
Does it go live tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we see a similar sort of shift.
Yeah. If
with
ETH takes
ETH.
if ETH goes down because of the Grayscale sell off, I'm gonna buy some ETH to do a quick little flip on some money.
Nice.
But I'll give it like a couple days and then see where it's at, and then if it dips down to like 2,000 something, go ahead and pick one or two of them up, because it'll go back up to 3 or 4 or 5,000 once the ETFs get going, in my opinion.
I mean, there's still a lot of people calling for a 15K ETH this bull run.
Yeah, there is, but that's
it'll get
only
that high,
it's only like a 6 or 7K. So I don't know. I got a couple $1,000. I think I'm gonna buy a couple Solana and maybe one Ethereum and just roll it on
Solana is
that.
my play, man. Solana,
Yeah.
Solana broke into 180 in a hurry the other day. It was.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with it.
It's the big winner at the moment. Are you guys doing a show this week? Tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll do a show tomorrow. It'll probably be shorter.
Okay, cool.
I don't know what we'll talk about. We'll probably go over the proposals and what support they're at and just talk about them a little bit. And then talk about the squirrel since he's out, and talk about the next one.
The cat.
What's the next one?
The tofu.
The cat. We already talked about the cat a little bit. I hate the art.
I like the art, man. I think it's a little bit more sinister than, I mean, at least it's not.
I just like how
like Kitty
and Kitty left, so we thought we were getting no more kitties, and somehow Brave Tofu got another kitty in the game.
So. At least it looks a little bit more menacing than Biz Kitty did.
Oh no, it doesn't. It looks cute. Just looks like a cute cat with two other cute cats. That's all it looks like.
Two other cats.
To me, it's less menacing than the other cats, because Bizant, the flying kitty, was literally like a flying tiger. These are just 3 cats on the ground. One of them's kind of big, but it looks big and fluffy.
It's a magical cat, Stever. At least the art style fits the rest of the stuff. I mean, it's not a monster, it's not a summoner like you would imagine, but I'm happy with the artwork. I think it looks cool. It is still a cat.
I don't like it so much, but it'll be interesting to see. It doesn't look like it's an overpowered one. I'm liking the squirrel a little bit more now that I got to use it, so I'm glad I bought it. Hopefully somebody buys my gold foil. That'd be nice. That way I can get that DEC and buy it.
Where's Ank at? Where's Ank at?
Oh, I don't know. He's always watching the market for deals. Ink buys deals. He doesn't buy stuff on the hype, so he's probably waiting for it to go down. I think the guys who buy it right away, you need the guys who may have quit the game by now. The guys who like to play all gold. So yeah, there's 2 at 125. And one of them's mine. So I was hoping somebody who was coming to buy them would be buying at least 2, and they would just pick those up. But they're probably waiting to see if somebody goes under that. So
that feels like a good deal. I mean, it's still the cheapest of the bunch. I mean, it sometimes takes a little bit for the meta to catch up, the market to catch up with the meta. Or the meta to catch up with the market. One of the two.
Yeah, I'll play
if we start seeing more of the squirrel.
Hopefully, if we talk about it on the game, I'll be able to show some on the show. I'll be able to show some battles where I used it to win. Hopefully, so.
Cool. All right, brother.
All right,
well, I'll try and pop in. Thanks for hopping in, Steve. Always enjoy hanging out with you, man.
Yep, for sure, man. And sorry I didn't watch the most recent episode, but it's the first one I've missed in a while, and I'll still listen to it one of these days. I just been busy with work.
We dropped the last one we dropped was Yaba.
Yeah, you know what?
We didn't put one out last week.
Oh, okay. How come somebody told me? You know what? I didn't finish the Yaba one. Did he say anything important in the last 20 minutes or so? Maybe 30? I got about
I
that far
think
into
we
it.
talked about the promo stuff to kind of wrap it up. I think the promo events, and
Oh, okay.
there were some interesting ideas that we talked about with Yaba around what could we do instead of the leaderboard. How can we, ensure that pricing is appropriate. So there's some interesting stuff in there for sure that I don't think was covered on the town hall. So worth a listen if you haven't. If not, we got PJ coming on Wednesday night, your time.
Yep. I'll definitely listen to that one. You could tell him I was disappointed to hear that he made it sound like in that town hall. Like, to me, he said this whole team already works for Splinterlands and will still somewhat be working for Splinterlands even after we basically hire them to build our project. Which I can kind of understand. When you have a dev team and you hire them to deliver a project, it doesn't mean they have to work on it 100% of the time, as long as they deliver it on time. But also, the other thing that I don't like about this proposal, and the main reason why I'm going to end up voting no, even though it's not going to matter, and I'll go over this on the show tomorrow, the time frame is BS to me. I know
March.
they're
Yeah.
saying, they'll probably develop it way, way sooner. I'm like, well, then give us a time frame that's sooner than that, and make the proposal, say, like, if they don't actually deliver at least the first version of this by, like, I don't know, give them 4 months, then stop funding this and you don't have to pay them anymore and they're fired. Because
Well, we'll see. We'll see how the chat goes with PJ. Maybe we can shed some more light on what that allocation looks like. Maybe we're actually hiring 2.5 devs. So one of those guys is 50-50 split between Splinterlands and the DAO. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we could get some more clarification and
yeah,
clear that up
hopefully
for you.
he can explain that a little bit more, because, like, honestly, if it was 4 devs working on the project, 500K for half a year is not that bad. Or I mean, for a full year. It's a full year of support, right? Yeah,
Full
like
year.
a full year of them supporting our thing. But the other thing that was kind of crazy is PJ was talking in the DAO hall. He made it seem like the connection of, like, getting SPS chain out where you can run a validator node and it can move SPS around is the first level of this. The second level of that is where they can interconnect it to Splinterlands and make it so the whole game can run on our network instead of using the Hive network, right? He
Yeah.
made it sound like that part of this is not included in this. So all we're
I
getting
need
for
to
the
go back and
500,
listen to the down hall again then.
yeah,
I missed
to
that
me,
part.
that's how I took that, is like, we're going to get out the initial version, and then we have to do the whole integration into it. And, like, all of that work is not even included in this. It's like, to me, it sound like another proposal for $500,000 was down the road. This wasn't, with them getting SPS to fully running the game on an SPS chain, and SPS chain be in a situation where, in theory, other games could even come and run on our system. Right? In theory. Because if we got an actual Hive-like chain, there's no reason that other people couldn't come and run on it if this chain is built like Hive, because that's what Hive is, and you have to stake SPS to earn resource credits and things like that. If it's a mimic of Hive, but with EVM compatibility, but the same functionality on the back end of Hive, that would be pretty amazing little chain. Be very interesting, but I don't even know if that's exactly what they're making. So it'd be nice also if PJ could explain, like, what does
is
he
the scope of the
envision?
project? Yeah.
And what chain is SPS chain, At the end of the day, when they get this out and up and running, what kind of chain are we? I know we're a delegated proof of stake system, but are we EVM compatible? Are we that's the big question. Because if we're EVM compatible at that point, then we're like a layer 2 of Ethereum, kind of, but with some different mechanics. Because like Polygon's kind of like that, because they have
Yeah.
staking nodes and things like that. But I don't know if that's what they're creating or not. Nobody's really explained it in detail.
Well, man,
to,
if
you
you
know, in
have
many years. So
if you've got a list of questions kind of churning around in your mind, shoot me a list, and
okay.
you know I'll do my best to try and get as much clarity as possible for that stuff. Because yeah, I think there was a lot of ambiguity in the proposal, and then you know it sounds like there were even more questions that came up as part of the down hall, which was meant to clarify the proposal. So, yeah, shoot me a list of questions if you got them. We're running Wednesday night your time, so you got a couple
Yeah,
days to
yeah.
put
I'll think
something
about
together.
it more, and I'll take some feedback on my show tomorrow, and then I'll send you some questions after.
Cool. All right, brother.
All right.
Well, for everybody out there, thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you had fun. We covered a lot of ground from politics to crypto to Splinterlands to the future. We'll see. All right. All right, everybody. We'll catch you later. Stever, always good to see you. I'll see you tomorrow, man.
All right. See you guys. Bye.